Mango. He was immediately raptured, and look at the damage that Crimson Tide has dealt. He's done so much work. Oh, what are you doing this time? This time around, they managed to go for a pretty decent game to put him.
Yeah.
But the damage, it's Dragon Tail. The Nightmare is out though. Do you want this? They do manage to get off the ulti, and they're controlling the DK, but the vacuum is phenomenal. And Junaid now, he stands and delivers. Remember me, you want to put the Grimstrike ulti out as well. Slinks on the front line means that they will finish off the Doom. 5 back beat. The RP is on 3, and 3 will die alongside it. They 5 back immediately though. Do they have to clean up? They're still getting the portal, and they managed to break down at least one. And Zeppy, he's still alive though. This is ridiculous. How haven't you fall yet? Jappa gets straight back in, and Remedy.
Ooh. Welcome everyone to EGL One. My co-caster is speaking loudly, but he's muted himself.
This is what tomfoolery gets you, right? Because you see, when I was messing around moments before the camera went live, I muted myself to stay safe. And then, of course, the opposite happens. Let me try that again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to EGL One. Today is a pretty big day. It's going to be XD versus Esports, and the winner will find themselves in a grand final versus Sinister 5. The first ever grand final, which of course makes us the first ever low bracket final, which is, it's kind of probably an unpleasant honor in a way. You'd prefer to have gone the high road, but it's still an honor to be in any final of a tournament that is the first of its kind. notAhero, welcome to the broadcast officially. Thanks for helping me out there.
I'm like, this man is speaking, and I for a second I thought it was my PC bombing, and I'm like, no, hold on, like something's wrong here. But yeah, like lower bracket final, good times. It's interesting, like some teams actually prefer the lower bracket final because you can actually end up building up momentum into the final. And then there are teams that would like to sit back, which Sun 5 has the privilege of doing, watching this game, strategizing, making plans for the grand final. And we've got XD versus Energy here. 2 big names, 2 big teams, and both are looking scary good in form perspective. Both kind of have their own little meta. So drafting is going to be interesting, and it's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm very interested as well because I think we were setting up to it before about how, you know, XD is this. I've given the pet name the Purple Menace. Yes, I've pulled the Wilson Triple XL here, but they are like they are this menace in purple right now, and they've been giving the other 2 sides in contention a really hard time of it. I mean, both Energy and Sinister 5 have lost matches to XD in the last couple of months, and obviously for Energy, they're already angry enough as it is because I think they would knock down to the lower bracket fairly, but in a way that was unusual. Let's go with that. So if you didn't catch up last time, obviously we had to remake Game 3. It was the deciding match, had to be remade, and in the end they lost, and Sinister 5 are the first team that made it through the grand finals, and that is history, and that is how it is. Nothing unfair about it, but it isn't something that's going to sit well with them. I guarantee you ask every single one of the players in the matchup, Sinister 5 and Energy Esports, you'd all say, we would have won the last time, right? But this time around, this universe we live in, Energy are the side that didn't win, and they're of course going to have to deal with XD. And XD they're a problem. They really are a problem. They're looking really good, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we get a purple and green final, if I'm totally honest. But it's a toss-up for me. What do you think?
You're really going with the colors here, hey? Purple and green, the orange and purple, or yellow. Is Energy orange or yellow? I'm not sure.
You know, they're ambiguous.
But yeah, so I don't think that last game, last versus Sun 5, is going to sit well with Energy because before that game got remade, they did kind of look comfortably, and Sun 5 kind of adapted their strategy completely different when the remake happened, and Adestam was pressured throughout the entire game. And that kind of looks like the template to beating Energy. Adam is looking form-wise scary good. I think he's the best mid laner in SA at the moment. That's my personal opinion. And he if you can stop him from hitting his timings, you've got a big percentage going your way to securing the win at the end of the day.
Yeah, so, I mean, agreed. I think Adastum he's been a killer, right? And I do think that with regards to how he's performed, it's just, you know, it's inspirational for the people around him as well. He's not just making his own, you know, he's not just doing it for himself. You know, he's doing it for his team around. He brings everyone around with him, and you can see with these space creating heroes he has played as well, how much space he creates on the map. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm very interested in what he does and how he performs in this matchup. But at the same time, like Baron has also been pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, and Baron's playing old school offlaners, not your conventional ones. He's still leaning towards the Mars a lot, which a lot of teams have been falling off with. He's playing a lot of Darks here. We see the teams banning it out as well. And it fits Energy's not Energy, XD's playstyle, because they like this roaming pos 4 for Ski as well. They like playing the Tusk for B even as a pos 5. And then if you've got Tusk Darkseer or Darkseer, Spirit Breaker, Earth Spirit, all these types of heroes. And then, yeah, it just creates a lot of space. They can put tempo on the map, and his vacuum walls are really good. And he's chaining this Darkseer with the Aghanim Shard, the normal punch, extremely well. He's chain stunning people for close to 3 seconds, where he normal punches them and then vacuums them back towards the team. And just that push and pull back disable really causes chaos, because you also can't commit him to the Darkseer because he's going to vacuum you and then he's going to wall you. So it's just a lot of team fight orientated, tempo orientated, and that's when XDF look good. Like when they've been drafting slower drafts, they tend to, the game goes sometimes too late and then it's a 50-50, and that's why I think they've been dropping games to Energy and Sun 5. But they need to play with tempo. Like go back for this Tusk. Yeah.
I was going to say, just on the note, is that, and I like the fact that you use tempo as well, because it's a little bit towards what I was going to say, is that we're almost on this upward trajectory for XD as well. Like they're a side that has been clearly growing and growing and growing. They've become a side that was, I would say, you know, when I think about them, I don't want to say like a 4th place side for a while. You know, they were kind of sitting there kind of in that kind of position, a mid-logger. And they've consistently just been getting better and better throughout this last.
Yeah, when this squad formed, we kind of, when I was still back 2018, 2019 with Salt, we kind of looked at the squad being our rivals, if that makes sense, because it was a squad that we had to compete with to be in that top 3 or top 4 slots. And they grew exponentially over the course of 2018, then 2019. Oh no, 2018 it was a different XD squad. I think they formed in 2019, this specific squad, and they've stuck together all that time. I think there's been 1 or 2 changes, but not a significant one. So since Junaid joined the squad, there's been no changes, and they've been building momentum as a group, as a unit, and they've gotten better and better. Like we saw these guys climb from divine ranks to immortal into the immortal numbers. So B Immortal 1000, Remedy in the top 500 if I'm not mistaken. So really skilled players, play with tempo, they can cause a lot of chaos on the map. But on the other side, HellbirD, you've got previous winners. You've got previous winners of championships. You've got previous champions that you like to dub them as. And in the form of Adastam, I think TKC has taken some as well. Deppy has definitely been there. Schlinks is at some 5. Apologies. Like the shuffles, eh?
Yeah, actually that's been crazy. And one thing we've seen a lot of the tournament as well is that we don't know, for example, which Sinister 5 side rocks up. I mean, I have no clue if the Sinister 5 we see in the grand final is going to be the same team that made it there. It's just they've changed. I mean, MD started with Sin 5 in this tournament. He then left Sin 5 during this tournament, and then rejoined Sin 5 during this tournament, and then Chosen One happened. And it's just bizarre. But look, with that out the way, I mean, obviously the tournament has been truly special as well. And when I think back to the qualifiers, the number of registrations we had, the amazing games, the devastation that was caused by the lower bracket teams like Frostbite, I mean, there were these just beautiful storylines that have all sort of led their way here today. between XD and NG Esports, and eventually to Sinister 5 and whoever can win here today. And there's no version of events from this point that isn't great. I think the 3 teams here are decidedly the best 3 teams in the country, and I don't really know who is going to win. And that's a unique position to be in, because if you'd asked me who the favorites were 2 nights ago, maybe a couple, that's Thursday, so yeah, 2 nights ago, I would have probably said that it was NG Esports. And then Sinister 5 looked like they started to come alive. And now I'm not so sure anymore. But Sinister 5 has just lost to XD in another tournament. So,
but it goes back to that. I think a lot of these games are being decided in draft. We saw in that Energy Sun 5 series, they first phased the TA, but then in the second phase, they banned out Viper, Huskar, and Kunkka. All 3 heroes that can deal with Templar Assassin. In the last game, they didn't do that. They banned out the Kunkka and the Viper, but they left the Huskar, and Sun 5 just snatched it up. And Adam's TA was significantly shut down. It was way slower, and they play around him. He is their space creator. Let's push this tower dominator. So Sun 5 countering Adastam in the lane completely. You had to go to the jungle, and you play from there. So I'm very interested to see if XD is going to follow the same pattern. Blockers, side camps, blockers, like ancient stacks. Are they going to first phase ban the Templar Assassin? I don't know, but the drafting is going to be extremely important here. We said we want to see tempo from XD, and from the side of energy, can Adastam start snowballing, because he's looking scary good.
Well, with that said, we are into the draft already, so let's get stuck in. Let's see how it goes. Axe banned out so far by XD. The response from NG so far has been the Nyx Assassin and the Winter Wyvern finally going to wrap things up with the Puck, and of course it means we get to the next picking stage, which they're going to open with the Enchantress, and we saw Enchantress a couple times last night as well. What was your opinion of its performance?
So all these healing heroes are really strong because of the Holy Locket. AA is still in the pool, so I wouldn't be surprised to see if AA snatches it up. They go for Tuskar, really good against the Enchantress. Tag team, extremely good against that all phases of the game, and the Walrus Punch. They're not a big HP pool. Untouchable is annoying. He's also a very good Spirit Vessel carrier. And then XD, just straight Tuskar, Terrorblade. And that's their lane combo. B is kind of their Tusk player. He's a very capable Tusk player, creates a lot of space, and it's from the +5 position. And then you're laning with the Terrorblade that's got Metamorphosis. If Tusk lands a good shot, like Ice Shard, and into a tag team combo with Meta on top of it, it's really good. But Energy immediately respond with the PL. We spoke about this the other night as well. PL is now being seen as a counter to Terrorblade, because Reflection can be dispelled. So anytime Reflection is cast on the Phantom Lancer, you can just doppel it off. And at any time and point in the game, Phantom Lancer can man-fight the Terrorblade, because it's really hard for him to judge which is the real PL, especially when you go this new Aetherland Shard build into the mid to late game. So good responses. Tuskar counters his Enchantress, Terrorblade comes out, and then immediately responds with the Phantom Lancer. Good counter pick. And we know Deppy's Phantom Lancer is really good, so he'll feel comfortable in that hero. We saw him go the Hood of Defiance the other night first, just for the magic resistance, and they had that with a Templar Assassin. But XD then opted to take out the TA in the second phase, taking out the Hoodwink, and Energy Esports respond with taking out Leshrac. Leshrac obviously deals well with Phantom Lancer. It makes his life really hard. And then Timbersaw, because Timbersaw is a lane dominator against this Phantom Lancer.
Yeah. I guess as well, I do feel like NG are playing with a fairly comfortable draft. I mean, they ran these heroes already in last Thursday, and they seem fairly effective. I mean, they look good. I think that the PL game was the one that they won of the 3. So I like the fact they're going something that definitely works for them. I'm kind of curious what happens next. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they ran the Nyx with the Enchantress, but the Nyx was their first ban this time around. Well, am I being confused?
So they wanted to pick up the Enchantress, and that leaves XD with 2 picks in a row, and then they could have opened to something like Nyx plus Dragonite or Nyx plus Mars, even Nyx plus Timbersaw, and that kind of stops this PL from having anything. So I guess just because they didn't have first pick, or because they didn't have second pick, they decided to take out the Nyx Assassin and the Wyvern, just to stop the combos, the lane combos. This Nyx roams around the map. We have seen Ski play it a lot. Very capable Nyx. Gives that vision out. follows his PL around in farming rotations. So I like that they're taking it out because they had a clear idea what they wanted to do with this Enchantress first pick.
Okay, well, let's wrap it up here. So the Timber Saw, as you mentioned, banned out, as well as the Void Spirit. XD respond with the Darkseer and the Hoodwink. The Darkseer is interesting for me because that's actually one of their babies, right? I mean, that's one of the things that they do. They run pretty well themselves, but they're going to pick up the LC, which is probably their offlaner. And believe it or not, notAhero. Do you know what has happened? Do you want, sometimes people
two heroes with
two heroes.
piercing ultis.
People accuse me of what, false excitement or something like that all the time. It's not true. I just love this game. This, however, is fake excitement because man oh man, am I glad to see two BKB piercing ulti heroes, both with saves, picked up by XD. The only two that can do it in the game, and no one had to correct me on that ever. Don't look at last Thursday's matchup. Thank you so much.
What about Phoenix?
Radiant team pick.
Egg pierces BKB, and you can put someone in egg.
Yes, but that's not quite the same because it's the same skill, right? So I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But I guess you want to push. You could say like Sunray is saving, I guess. But
yeah. So I like the Darkseer ban by XD, even though it's their baby. They needed an offlaner that can go toe to toe with defensive lance in the lane, and that's good against them across the majority of the game. So they decided to take out the Darkseer because they rate their hero highly, and Yappa is a pretty good Darkseer player. And then XD Energy responds with a Shadow Demon for this Terrorblade. Can anytime in the fight just disrupt the TB, make illusions. He can farm with it, he can push with it. It's good with PL as well, so it goes both ways. And it's a save against the Legion Commander duel. So Legion duels any target, he just instantly gets disrupted. And the thing is, Shadow Demon's W can actually swing that duel, so you can actually win the duel because it reduces like percentage HP and then you get it back slowly over time. But that initial burst of HP lost will allow this Legion Commander to be squishy and can be killed. And all Shadow Demon's abilities now are unpurgeable, completely unpurgeable. So Shadow Poison, all these abilities, you can't get a Manta to get it off you. You have to go, like, it goes through BKB. He has to obviously wait for the BKB to run out before he can pop it. But very annoying. Good save, good against the Terrorblade. And then they're up for this Lina pick, which we've seen quite a bit from them. They kind of run it as a 4. But Lina plus Legion I don't think is that strong of a lane together. I guess Lina is a bully for Enchantress though.
Because I just realized something absolutely terrible. Right now, admittedly, when I said BKB penetrating disables, I meant something that was like a stun, right? Something that can stun you, right? So Shadow Demon doesn't quite count, but he almost counts because he also has a BKB penetrating disable, but it's just slow. But it's actually quite useful against certain heroes. So
there's quite a few, not just one.
Yeah, it's been ruined for me. LC, I don't even like you anymore. We ain't friends. We ain't friends. Anyways, all right, so the Lina is something that they also run in like multiple positions, right?
It can fight the Enchantress in the lane though. That's the nice thing. Like Enchantress's strong suit is that she can poke you and then run away from you because she's got high movement speed. But Lina is going to get with Fiery Soul. She's going to get 5 right clicks off when Enchantress gets 1. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ski just goes 1 level of LSA, Fiery Soul, 1 level of Dragon Slave, and then another level of Fiery Soul, and just trade with this Enchantress consistently. It also gives them nice wave clear. So Lina plus Legion can like body towers. It's their job to kind of keep towers alive, because Energy's main form of push at the moment is kind of Enchantress creeps. Tanking is not a tower pusher, and that's what they're lacking a little bit from the side of Energy Esports. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see like Dragon Knight from them. Puck has been banned, so Adestam's not going to go that. Viper, I know Adam plays a bit of Viper as well, but I think DK rounds off their draft. It's another form of stun. You can set up for sanking Epis, gives them tower push in the early game, and if Enchantress gets like a frost creep and she just buffs the DK with armor, it's really hard for this Terrorblade to actually do damage to Dragon Knight. It's a small little mechanic which we see notAhero abuse in the pro scene. He always has like these frost creeps and like armor buffing creeps and HP buffing region creeps. Or you even asked me the other day, why is he taking the small Seder over the big one? And it's because of magic resistance.
Radiant
So,
team pick.
oh, Underlord. That's a mid Sanking or mid Shadow Demon.
Could be a mid Underlord.
I don't like that. XT still has the last pick.
I think maybe that's kind of the point, but I get the feeling that this might be. I think to me this is mid Sanking, offlane Underlord, and then
Junaid can do DK or Kunkka here. Like, I think Kunkka just has a free time on the lane against the Sand King. It's a good hero against PL as well. He can always kind of clear the PL illusions just with Tidebringer. So you can blow up the Enchantress. I guess there's Shadow Demon save against Kunkka, but I really like Kunkka here. Like Kunkka or Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight Terrorblade in the same draft is extremely scary. Every time Terrorblade has Metamorphosis, you just push. Zeus.
it's good against illusion heroes, right? So maybe that's the thought, is that there's a lot of illusions you have to deal with by the Shadow Demon, the PL, and the Enchantress. So maybe they're just thinking we're going to make our lives a little bit easier trying to identify them. Chain Bolt.
It's also like, you can see Sand King in the Sandstorm. It blows up Enchantress pretty well. And also Energy Esports doesn't really have rotating supports. I guess Shadow Demon can rotate in and you can disrupt into a Sand King stun. But when there's no like rotating supports onto the mid lane, Zeus is pretty good. He's really bad when there's Tuskars and Earth Spurs and stuff like that, because at any stage, even when he's level 6, he's gankable. So just because there's no real big... but Enchantress is a good like ganking support. If she gets a Seder with the Sand King, they can change stun into it. I don't know if I like the Zeus pick. If Soup... And that's a pos 4 Enchantress. Soup's playing it. So he can get some centaurs and rotate onto the Zeus and make his life really bad. And Yappa on the Underlord, it's pretty much the
legal gameplay right there.
only real counter left to Terrorblade. Some people will argue with me and say, no, but Elder Titan is still one. Yes, but Elder Titan goes both ways. At the last major, Terrorblade put a reflection on Elder Titan, and then they one-shotted the Phantom Lancer that was standing next to the ET because of the illusion still gets the aura. So that's a give and take. But this Underlord is a proper counter to TB in the laning phase.
Well, let's see how it all pans out. Of course, it'll be up to the players to make this all work one way or another. Does the Zeus make the difference, or will XD regret? Time will tell. But of course, this is that time where we do a little bit of a reminder for those of you who are watching in-game. Of course, you know what that means. Admin time, which isn't our favorite time. Our favorite time is free stuff time, but that's what admin time is all about. So, you know, it's not so bad if you think about it. Anyways, so for those of you watching game, please remember that EGL One gives away free prizes every single time we broadcast, and the low bracket final is certainly no exception. If you want to join in, you can also have a conversation with us, and we'll have a little guessing game at some point. We won't. I'm just lying about that, but we'll see who can say, and once again, we're not doing this, but I'm going to pretend that we're going to do it, is to see how many reindeers of Santas you can mention without Googling it. Anyways, and more importantly, you can talk about the Dota with us, you can have a good time with us, and of course, you can stand a chance to win your own 250 Rand Steam voucher. And of course, we'll do that giveaway later on the stream, so do nothing now, but later on, we'll be good to go. Anyways, only available to South African residents, but even if you're not South African, you can still enjoy the Dota with us, and we'd appreciate it. Right, out of the way, done and dusted. What is going on with Soup's icon? Is that broken to you as well?
Soup's icon?
Yeah, look next to Bambi. Look at the little Enchantress head. You're not seeing it?
No.
That's weird. Looks very broken to me, but I guess it's just me. It's Yappa as well. Yappa's also broken.
Oh, you mean the little shield? Okay, it's just a little pixelated splash. It's not the end of the world, HellbirD. It's a small little glitch. Not game changing.
Freaking me out, okay? Come here for some Dota and I get pixels? Ugh! Disgusting!
This Zeus Sand King matchup is going to be interesting. But look at Ski top lane already. Just running at TKC over and over again. Forcing him to take the long way back home. Oh, they changed the lanes up from XD side. Burned is top because PL is there. Oh, no, wait. No, I'm completely... I'm lying. Like, lanes are normal. They've got the Underlord against the TB, which they wanted, and they've got the Legion Commander against the PL, which they want as well.
Yeah.
Legion is in a really, like, he's in a really good space against Phantom Lancer, especially if you take, like, max overwhelming odds. Because PLs tend to doppel when they get in trouble, but then when he comes out of the doppel and you have got overwhelming odds, you obviously then do additional damage because of all the illusions being there.
It's like you thought illusions were your ally. You know what? You know what Dark Things, by the way? Remedy, he's got this like blue set at the moment for Terrorblade.
Oh, top
I
lane?
thought it... Hold on. Deppy very low. Do they have enough damage? Actually cancel the animation for the one right click. That might be the undoing for this first blood attempt. As damage. Oh, look at the stacks. TKC will be caught up by an LSA though. But Ski's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt.
It's 160. It's 160 damage.
Yeah. Pain.
Still level 1, so not that significant. When it hits like 5 stacks, it's where it really starts to get ANA. But that obviously scales really good, especially against the Legion now, because you can't just purge it or press the attack. In the past, the Legion Commander would just, okay, well, my ally's got 4 stacks on him, let me use press the attack, and then gone.
This fight top is just never ending. TKC, once again, really having a hard time with Ski. He's just applying the right clicks. He's got the 1 level Fire Soul, as you said, and then just being able to just build up that speed with the damage is really significant. They actually have a very good lane to deal with the PL. I love Legion Commanders. It's one of my favorite heroes, and also one of the only heroes. I'm not going to do it.
So I like what Baron's queued up here, and I spoke about it the other day. I'm a little bit sad when Legion Commanders still go Blade Mail into Blink, where I think the current build is just to get as tanky as possible. Oh, like Deppy's taking so much damage.
Oh my soul!
Taking so much damage.
Deppy first blood and is gonna go to Ski. So all supports around the world enjoyed that one, because first blood on a support is like first blood on a core, but it feels that much better.
Yeah, and it's on this Lina as well, which is your right clicker in this lane. So it's just going
B and a little bit of trouble here. Do they have the damage finish off? Just enough. Last hit from Soup will do the job. But top lane, they're not letting off at all. Again, I keep just hearing this spam that goes on. Deppy's having a very hard time. I mean, overwhelming odds just being tossed out pretty much at will. And of course, with some... Oh, wow. Ski under the tower even. He's going to take a lot of damage from said tower. But just unfortunately for the PL, it's great that you have a support like Shadow Demon who can really put a lot of pressure on them. But when things aren't going your way, he just builds up one's charges for your opponent. So you can see they have just that going on. Soup very, very low and will be run down. B also looking to put a little bit of hurt onto Japa. Remedy did use Metamorphosis, so happy to get as much out of the deal as possible.
Tag team with Metamorphosis. That is...
Enjoy.
No, that is horrible.
I wanted to speak about this. How cool does this Terrorblade look? I don't like him when he's in his melee form, but in range form, he's so terrifying. So dark. He is darkness. Anyways, once again, they have the refraction going out onto Japa, who's once again in a little bit of trouble. But do they have enough damage to bring him down? The Firestorm comes out as well. Remedy might actually fall here instead. The Impetus is there. B will claim the counter kill though, but that... I think that still favors Energy, because they were there for the kill on Remedy, both of them. Deppy, however, also falling again. This is significant. Sorry, Deppy getting the kill, I lie.
Yeah,
he actually took the Lina.
Yeah, and they're starting to... Shadow Demon is starting to get levels now. He's level 3, so there's 2 levels on Poison now. So the damage is a bit more significant. But what I wanted to speak about as well, Baron's build on this Legion. He's going Treads into Hood of Defiance. And he's just becoming as tanky as possible to lock people down and not give deal damage to the enemy. I like the build a lot. I think it does way more than Legion's going Blade Mail with a Blink Dagger. And he'll be able to survive duels, so he can take a bit more risk when he does it. And it's your team fight builder. He can change it into a pipe later on, or Deppy being right-clicked again top lane. Just a little bit of a... His armor is starting to scale up now. He's got 2 levels of Phantom Rush. So if he does use the Phantom Rush while the Lina is hitting him like that, he will have a little bit of extra armor for it because of the agi gain. So, and it's 20 bonus agi when he uses Phantom Rush. So significant against a hero like Lina that is going 2 levels of LSA, 1 level of Fiery Soul.
Does she get like a Blightstone here or something? Do you think that's worthwhile?
I do think so. Peeling at 7 armor, when he uses the Phantom Rush, obviously it's a bit more. It goes up to 10.
Beautiful double LSA though. He looks so
being
comfortable on this
annoying.
hero.
Yeah, he's being so annoying. PL's only sitting at 23 last hits. If you compare that to like this, okay, it's not that far away. Okay, he's catching up. But some of it is neutrals now. So
Right.
pretty much on par with the Terrorblade.
And
But
Aston and B, they find themselves in an interesting situation, but Soup joins in as well. They're going to use a snowball. They're all right on top of it. They want to make sure he's got nowhere to go. The Barrow Strike comes out as well, and B should be brought down before picking up the bounty.
The bounty!
The shining ray of, not hope, because he was definitely dead, but BM or something. You know, just, I'm going to get
And Tusk-
something out of this.
Tusk's body just falls over the bounty. It was just so short, and so dramatic.
Yeah,
Like,
it feels bad, man.
So their lanes have recovered completely.
Things are coming out because they want to go again. Baron, it's not 6 yet, but he will get banished as the disruption is used on him. LSA misses as well, so let's see how XD respond to this, because I expected that they'd kind of run away, but oh, look at
Zeus
the
ulti?
damage coming out. I'm not sure exactly who it was for. I think the Enchantress.
Stoop.
But they finished the job there, but it helped Baron as well, because he put a lot of pressure on TKC. He did have a lot of one charges, unfortunately, for him, as they're going to start doing a little bit of creep pulling. This is something I also find interesting, because he's got the one level only in Moment of Courage, so he's not the best creep skipper, but he certainly doesn't suck at it either, so he has this option available to him. But if he does get too many of those stacks up from TKC, he'll be in trouble. And Ski is looking to find the engagement. He'll bring down the tree line, as TKC was using it as a bit of a shield.
Yeah, so he like, you kind of want to be going, oh, Dippy's going
You want
down.
to be going out of top lane right now if you Ski, because he has got a lot of attention on him, and of course also comes with a Banisher, so the damage is there. Impetus going to be timed with the LSA. Nice bit of execution there from Soup. And Baron trying to run him down because he has a friend in this round as well. It's Junaid, and there is real damage there. They're going to make sure they bring it down the Enchantress in exchange for the Lina, and Junaid's not done just yet. He will get disrupted again, and Junaid not too keen on engaging underneath the tower. I mean, TKC is...
Oh, Junaid's going back middle.
On the edge. Yeah, decides
Yeah, just TP's out. But Remedy was farming there, because he's left this bottom lane now. He doesn't want to let into this Underlord anymore. So, but it's fine. It's 8 minutes into the game. Your Terrorblade's going to start rotating around.
I'm going to wind up the drums as he takes the LT onto the Legion Commander. Baron tried to just get as much HP as possible with the press the attack and TP out, but it wasn't enough, and they had far more damage than they required to finish the job. So in the
What
end,
did Thanking just purchase? Because he had something queued up with Blink Dagger.
oh, let's take a look. Look, it's full boots of travel.
Boots of travel.
So, look,
that's significant.
I gotta say again, we've seen this a lot, right? Okay, go ahead. You probably have better insight than me, anyways.
No, a lot of mids are doing this at the moment. Oh, bottom lane, Jumper's going down. Tag team.
Important kill there, Remedy. We're gonna pick it up as they snowball for fun.
Mitigating the Firestorm's last few ticks, I guess. Just efficiency, HellbirD. Oh, they're pinging Junaid middle. They want to find him.
They're all gonna find his creeps instead, and I mean,
but Adestam likes doing this. Like you were referring to, back to this Boots of Travel pickup. We see him do it on Puck a lot as well. It just allows him to be everywhere on the map and apply pressure, because he has additional ways of getting into fights. Like Jumper can use Pit of Malice. They've got slows from the PL Lance. The TKC can always disrupt someone. So he has ways of getting into the fights. Disruption, and then travel in, like pressure that target, Epi, kill him. But
B gonna come in the top lane here. TKC gonna be rolled through as they want Deppy for sure. They do have to turn around though, because Soup's coming and so has that Aston. He gets off a beautiful double Burrow Strike. The LSA not available, so he's gonna have to just run away. Baron in trouble, and will fall down. Finally, they do get the stun, but it's not gonna be enough to save. And B now caught out by Adastum as well in the sandstorm. Brought down on top of it. That rotation critical, because again, they're trying desperately hard to put some pressure onto this top lane PL. They've done so. His CS is not great, but those rotations from Adastum making a massive difference.
And the nice thing about this Boots of Travel as well, it doesn't affect the TP timer. So Adestam can always TP to the closest creep wave, and the rest of the team can TP to the tower. So you don't stack TPs and then you've got the one person that's really delayed. He can just be to the creep wave that allows the other hero to TP in promptly and change that up. because they were really quick to get Depi there with Duel, and I think they could have blown him up if they did. And just the really fast reactions by Energy Esports to keep their carry alive. The tower does go down now, but obviously did allow it to stay up a little bit longer. Baron does have the hood on this on the Legion Commander now, so. But Depi instantly realizes the threat top. His tower is gone. Moves to the bottom lane. He's going to start farming in this area. They want to try and put bodies here now to get this tower down, because that opens up the space of the map for him into his triangle. So weird how Dota is like that you have to like the enemy safe lane tower opens up your triangle. It's so bizarre.
So yeah, I mean, you make a good point. I think it's just there's a lot about Dota that's very strange at the moment. Like, I mean, aggression is certainly not rewarded as much as it once was. It's more like it used to be a very aggressive game. Now it's almost a efficient game.
A tower,
I mean,
tower focus game.
If you think about what's happening here, you have this commitment from XD in this top area. They have to make it work. You can't do this, kill a hero and be like, job done. You have to get a lot out of this. You have to farm this entire area. You have to make sure you kill something and at least do some damage, force a rotation back, anything. But if you look at the other side of the map, once again, Energy are making use of this space. They are split up. You can see they have just the Jupper Underlord top lane, and he's going to have no problem slowing things down with the Firestorm. Look at the damage there with the lean on top of it. And mid lane, the pressure's coming on at Aston on the Sand King. He's going to start tagging away, and he's got Soup behind him, so it's going to be a tough duel set of heroes to bring down. In fact, DKC also around to make sure that they are totally safe. Alright. Looks like they will keep going down onto mid. But at the moment, they're going to have to deal with the fact that it is somewhat more interesting here. They've smoked up immediately. B is going to immediately know what's going on. Nice ulti from the Zeus. And on the high ground, they managed to get the duel off as well as the Astral Shards, which sets up a beautiful, nice little play there from XD. They're firing two very important kills, and that means they also have an opportunity to take a go at this tier 1 tower mid. Sand King, however, looks like he's keen to TP in and do some work, and it's so hard push up against Sand King. Sandstorm is beautiful. And now, with that Sandstorm up, you can see the exact response from XD is simply to move away. They don't want any part of it anymore. They've headed off into the opposite direction of the map. Looks like they're going to just move around, see what they can do. This Depi in bot lane is also pushing that one out. He's got Baron on him, but he is not a massive threat alone. As notAhero was talking about earlier, as long as he has build like this with Hood, he's not going to be able to do a huge amount of damage himself. He's really going to be setting up as a tanky frontliner for damage to make sure that he doesn't go down. Right, so let's see what happens next. Top lane looks like they're going to have spotted out Jupper, but with the help of a bit of Malice, he's totally fine, but they have also spotted out Remedy. Now, as one does, good opportunity here for the Terrible to just farm the triangle and also make his way into the opposing stacks or neutrals and see what he can get up. Obviously, it gets a little bit more dangerous as you move towards the outpost, but with that safe lane tower down, obviously does mean that they have an opportunity to farm over there fairly freely. And Soup is going to make his way towards the bottom lane. At the moment, Junaid and co have to be pretty careful because there are some considered movements from Energy Esports. They're trying to take over the other side of the map. You can see they're committing pretty significantly here with the Dastum. Got his Sandstorm going, farming some good old ogres. These are not the ones that live under a troll. These are friendly neighborhood ogres that have just been, you know, had their homes invaded and, you know, their dreams dashed of potentially starting another little ogre family. You know, little Warren Ogre, I guess his name was. Warren the Ogre. Sad times. But anyways, it is what it is. Japa also try and take a little bit more control of his own jungle. So a lot of farm at the moment, how it's reflecting statistically, is that the net worth is almost dead even. It is so close. However, experience certainly favoring Energy Esports at the moment, going towards the 2,000 mark, and that is a big deal. That's a really big deal. I also have to point out again that the PL being such a solid answer to the Terrorblade means that they do have some great options mid lane. As I'm sitting on the edge of the sandstorm, they're going to spot out Baron, and they have numbers coming in. They're going to channel the EP, goes through, beautiful burrow strike out to 2, and Assam very low here, may fall and does fall. Buyback comes out from Baron. He wants to help bail out Remedy, who's in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have the mana to Sunder. Standing in the Firestorm will survive though, and the LSA comes out from Ski as well as the Light Strike, sorry, the Laguna Blade, which means they're able to finish the job onto the Depi PL. Massive fight for Exdee. Did come at the cost of a buyback on their core, but they kill all of the, well, so 2 of the 3 cores as well as the Enchantress. Baron now stands in the front, trying to tank this tower for his team. Of course, you do have the duel that comes out. Can they make this work though? They're trying to run through the Firestorm. There's actually not enough damage to finish the job during the duel, and unfortunately for Baron, he wasn't even rewarded with a kill either. So Exdee don't get the tower mid, nor do they get the kill on the Underlord, and the entire of NG is back online just a moment. So perhaps not the play, but somewhat forced into that position, as Jupp is such a considerably good tower defender with that Pit Lord. And of course, mentioning again the likes of the Sand King, who's also would be able to do a great job, and potentially even the Shadow Demon can make life challenging. In the end, NG Esports will claim the tier 1 tower mid instead. And now they catch up B's Tusk, and it will be a fairly simple kill. How I say this! He was actually able to get the snowball off. However, he dies regardless. No fancy footwork was getting him out of that one with the Firestorm on top of his desired location. And of course, everyone's basically saying, look, just take the death. You are going to die. You delay it. It's not going to be good for you. Remedy at the moment, though, still leading the net worth. So that's a significant thing for XP. Actually, you know, I'm very curious on the XP because we spoke about it a moment before, and it's worth looking at again because it was a considerable lead for NG Esports. They had done the good work to find themselves ahead, but they lost all of it. Even though the net worth is once again near even, the fact that they've lost that opportunity is quite a big deal. Still think they're in a good space. Got to be said, taking down the tier 1 tower mid also makes a particularly big difference in this game, and you can see XD respect that. They want to bring down the tier 1 tower mid as well. But we'll see if they're able to make those moves around the map. For the time being, it looks like they are content again with farming, and of course with something like Terrorblade on the map, you can see he is going to just start soaring. But again, got a hand to that Dastum. Yes, Sand King is a flash farm. I really do think it's a great hero. Caustic Finale is so good at just popping creep waves and putting pressure on your opposing side of the map without having to commit too much time, then have too much risk of your hero falling whilst he puts that time there. Of course, Sandstorm also just as good. You can see Adastam going to use in this case to bring down the creep wave bottom, and of course you can just see how accelerated your farm can be. Keeping up with Terrorblade is a big deal. However, Baron going to be scouted out, and they do take over the shard as well. The Golem, which means they do have the stun. In comes Adastam. He will commit his epicenter to this. Only rewarded with the Baron Bison Legion Commander, and it is a fairly expensive kill in the sense that they had multiple heroes down there. They had to use the epicenter, but regardless, he's one of the best players in the scene right now. One of the best offlaners, perhaps potentially the best offlaner in South Africa at the moment. So bringing him down is definitely a useful bit of work. They're going to catch out Super bottom lane though. The Enchantress in trouble. Eventually, a delayed looking fish punch will come out. And TKC, can they finish the job on him? He wants to be saved by Yappa, and he will be teleported away in the disruption. In the end, they'll have to settle for that support trade for the Legion Commander, but that's definitely not something that they would be too happy to write home about. Mid lane. Yappa is still making sure he is the bodyguard. He's going to make sure that this is a lovely, happy tower. Gets to see at least the 20th minute. That's pretty good. I mean, actually, that's pretty amazing. Wonder how many towers I would have up if I had to play against XD. I'd probably be Rax by this point, so I doubt it would be going great. But in this case, it's looking real healthy. So credit to Energy, and stark reminder of just what a good side they actually are.
I have returned.
Not a hero. The prodigal son has returned. And for this, you get to be Prancer, the reindeer. Baron smoked up top lane. They know that Adastum's there. He's just dropped an additional sandstorm. They can't catch him up. They get the duel off as well. Do they have the damage though? He's a tanky lad. They surely don't. But they will finish the kill regardless. No duel victory. Baron won't be rewarded with that. Still sitting on 10, but more importantly to kill the Sand King. I'm sure you'll agree, notAhero, that is more than reward enough.
Yeah, that's also the build that he's gone. We spoke about this Hood of Defiance build. It's not to... If you do get the duel win, great, it's a bonus. But it's about the disable. It's about actually catching that hero for the duration of the duel, being able to blow him up, and then if the team comes in afterwards, that you can stay alive. So it's their lockdown tool. It's their tempo tool, and like I said earlier in the match, I do like that he's going for this Blink Hood build over the Blade Mail.
So on top of that, like, he's going for a shard next. So he's playing defense, right? Like, there's no doubt about it. And he has had a little bit of a hard time. His net worth is probably about 2k, I would say, beneath where he wants to be. At least wants to be matching the Pit Lord, I think. But with that said, he's playing a selfless game though here. The Agnum Shard not going to do a huge amount for speeding up his farm accelerating. Going to make a massive difference to the Terrorblade.
Yeah, so the 2k difference with the Pit Lord is not that significant because the roles of the two heroes are completely different. Like, Pit Lord is kind of the body that defends towers for Energy Esports. Sand King is more their tempo hero, where Legion Commander is the person that actually needs to get into these fights. So I do expect them to play a lot of Baron from this point in the game, even with, like you said, his net worth being slightly behind that of Yappo's. So, and they've got some combos, eh? Like dual LSA, Laguna Blade. There's definitely some damage coming out there. And tag team, obviously, very significant. Strong at all stages of the game, really good for them. And how is TB faring so far?
He's looking good, but what's been a little bit of a frustration from is that Soup is just tracking down these illusions he sends out to push out lanes, takes them over, and it becomes Soup's illusions to push out lanes, which is a little bit of a problem. Top lane, however, Baron, they're going to commit to this kill. I'd asked them in there, but he did make his way to the tree line, and it looks like they aren't too keen to follow. They don't know what's waiting for them in the Dark Wishes. Might be a Terrorblade, who knows? Remedy, ready to go. Metamorphosis, I'm sure he's itching to use it. He's just picked up a fresh Eye of Skadi. You can still feel a chill on it.
Hey, when you buy that Eye of Skadi, it still has a little frost coming.
You haven't numbed to it yet, you know? Like, you gotta... The real question is, let's ask, where does an Eye of Skadi... Like, you have these inventory slots, right? So, like, boots are obviously gonna go on your feet, right? A Dragon Lance, that's a lance, you're gonna hold that. Sanjin Yasha, 2 swords, you're gonna hold that too. What do you do with an Eye of Skadi? That's the real question. Does it go into your head?
I'm pretty sure you don't get an Eye of Skadi and then go, okay, I'm gonna, like...
Put it in my head.
No,
tell that to the Dark Wanderer in Diablo 1, because you know what one does when you find the soul of an ancient demon? Well, you cram it into your head, of course, because there was certainly no other option.
Well, these are Dota heroes, Devin, they're nice.
I mean... Some of them are nice. I mean, we can be Sand. I mean, I love Sand King, right? I love him, but he doesn't look nice to me. He does want to go in onto the Lina, but he was followed in by B, and they do get the LSA out. A lot of damage onto Aston, but he's still up. They're almost, and finally do bring down Ski. Deppy in the front lines, taking on Remedy at the moment. He is standing and delivering though with that Scotty. Will get Persia and banished by TKC. Stay out of this fight a little while longer. I'll make my own illusions, and they might just finish off and do finish off the Terrorblade. The hell? Ooh. Where are they? I'm looking, but XD, they're just not here anymore. They used to be here, but they're not here anymore.
Deleted.
And Roshan's gonna suffer the same fate. Energy, that was just beautiful execution. Let's be honest, there was just a great fight from them. They didn't even get to pick that fight.
Just a lot of counter picks from the side of Energy. Like, they've got the Shadow Demon plus the Phantom Lancer in the game to deal with Remedy, and it's really hard because Tusk can't save you out of disruption. Like, in normal situations, Tuskar can go in, he can assist you, he can disrupt, like, he can save you, but like, what is the real Tusk snowball savior? I guess from the Sand King Epicenter, but I personally hate playing Tusk into, like, Pit Lord, because usually that target has got a Pit of Malice on him as well, And if you get rooted, you can't snowball. So really, really hard game for B on this task. But like we said, there's just so many counters. Like Sanking clears these illusions. Soup keeps taking them over. There's a disruption as well. So very hard game for Remedy. Is he gonna? Like, is it even a good BKB game? I guess he does need it.
Yeah, and the problem is that Demonic Purge does work through BKB as well, right? And that is it's a very irritating spell to deal with. I mean, obviously it's famous for how it's dealt against things like Lifestealer, obviously.
Because he's also in two minds about it. Like he picked up the Ogre Axe, then he queued up an Aeon Disc, and now he's going back for a BKB. So it's pretty. Yeah, like he's in a weird space because is the Aeon Disc gonna help him? I don't think so. I don't think Aeon Disc is the play.
I don't like Aeon Disc on TV. I mean, your Aeon Disc is your Sunder, right? And you get it off, and BKB will let you do that at the very least.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, you can still deal damage with your illusions, and you kind of safe from like a.
Look at what is happening here. You're too good at this game. So I want to point this out, right? Okay, so XD, bottom lane, right? They leave an illusion on this illusion right here. Zoom in on it. Press I, Mr. Observer. The one with no HP, the one limping around. The free kill, right? So they leave it in bottom lane. And right next to the sandstorm. Just on the outskirts of the sandstorm. Hoping that Adastum will just give it a little claw. Because they also had Baron Biceps waiting around to jump in on it, right? Instead of killing it, they scan the tree line next to where Adastum is standing. Dick go red, and immediately Adastum jumps out of harm's way. Like,
but those are TB illusions. They're not banter illusions. They look different.
Huh? What? No, but there wasn't. It wasn't a kill. He wasn't trying to get him to kill the TB. He was trying to get him to kill the illusion to stop it from farming.
Oh, okay,
they were trying to bait out a hit from Adastum so that they could jump on him with the Legion Commander. Because it was just one little shot away, right? Like, I would do it. I'd be like, oh, look, there's this one shot to kill illusion.
This Terrorblade Scotty, I'm running the other way, even if it is an illusion.
It was a one hit! Anyways, it was really good. I really appreciate it. The fact that they even scanned it, energy, like, they're too smart, man. Like, they've seen that one before or something.
So XD is doing well to kind of, like, get their next item timings. TB is still the most farmed hero in the game. But Baron is really starting to fall behind. You mentioned him being 2k behind the pit lord earlier. Well, he's 4k behind the pit lord now. It's really not scaling at the moment. He's finishing his phase boots now, so there's no real big items coming out. And DP is sieging base. He's got ages. Is anyone coming back for this? Okay, Baron TP'd back.
Yeah, and overwhelming odds does such a good amount of work up against that PL, but unfortunately, it's just going to get harder and worse for them. He's already moving towards that heart, and he's pretty close to it, if we're honest. B going to be caught out, diffused as well. Now he's forced into the snowball, and he's dragged all the way back. He does have the blink dagger, so he'll be able to get out of harm's way. But you can see immediately the pressure that NG are willing to put on, and looks like
and also look at the itemization from NG Esports. So Pit Lord pipe into Shiva's guard. They are fully gearing up to ensure that Remedy is a non-factor in these fights. They've got 3 heroes that can deal with them already. Now there's a Shiva's guard on top of it. Really going the anti-TB build, yeah, and it's the right way to go about it. The pipe is for the Zeus, Shiva's for the Terrorblade. Pit Lord's got the tools to deal with the enemy carries. Will Burn even kill anything if he blinks deal something at the moment, even if he has his team behind him? I guess Enchantress will pop or TKC will pop. But it's really hard for them to kill any of these other heroes.
They kind of have to go on TKC at the moment, but the problem is he's also getting an Aeon Disc, and that's almost completed. I mean, it's interesting to see a support take this kind of thing, but he didn't realize that with the Aeon Disc, it means that he can't be the target of the duel, which means that dueling becomes that much harder.
Yeah, and the nice thing about Shadow Demon, your disruption illusions will still do damage. If you get your ANS procs and you still get the disruption on the Terrorblade, then your job is kind of done. And you can still check out poisons and things like that in between because they'll only pop afterwards. So, Shadow Demon for your, I think it's a really good Aeon Disc carrying hero because majority of your damage is delayed or it's from illusions.
Okay, well, top lane at the moment is going to be next port of call for Energy Esports. They want to finish the job here. Adastum is...
It's really good movements by XD though. They knew they couldn't fight until the Terrorblade's BKB was up, and they kind of just played the map.
And
and they're going to get the ulti, and they're going to
there
get
you
the duel onto Etienne, and this time there's nothing to save them. They want this fight, and super in trouble. The snowball goes through one onto the backline, into the walrus, but Deppy though, he stands, he delivers the buyback. No, it was a buyback, they didn't finish the job onto the tanking. He's could have channeled up in the background. He goes back in onto Remedy. The Sunday is available. The fight looks so good, being controlled by the Stentor. And they bring down the Tusk. Remedy wants out. He will get out. But it looked so good, and Etienne was
TKC.
so low.
TKC with the saves there. This Aether Lens instantly or not instantly, Etienne was on 100 HP, gets the disruption on the Sand King, and then when he came out, you could pop his BKB, stuns out, blinks away, re-engages, almost gets a kill on the Terrorblade. That looked so good for XD, and that entire team fight was just changed by TKC being in the right place at the right time. His Aeon this is rock,
it was the fight for them, and they're going to catch out Junaid. He does have the Ghost Scepter and the Yules, but it's not going to matter. He goes down. Soup makes the comment, game is hard. Apparently not for you. Honestly, I can't believe how good NG are. Like, the fact that they didn't lose that team fight with the initiation that XD had is pretty crazy. There was a BKB reveal on the Terrorblade. They caught out one of the big targets. Etienne gets a double burrow strike in. They want to follow this up. Baron in a lot of trouble. LSA does connect onto 2, but it's not enough. And in fact, I don't think there's anything left for XD here. This game looks very, very decided.
There's no meta for 60 seconds. That's kind of the big problem here. And Deppy's got a full heart on this peel. Heart, SNY, Diffusal Blade, and a Hood of Defiance. He's not going down.
You know, you can see XD trying to probe, but there's no options. They're just so secure, so tanky. And again, you can see Deppy. Look where he's playing Dota right now. Does this look like somebody in a lower bracket final? Does this look like somebody who?
Oh, Thunder.
Yeah, that was a nice little play there, keeping Skier around for a little while longer. But
he is their wave clear though. Keeping the Lina alive there is actually a crucial play. Because without this Lina, I don't think they defend this even. They're not defending it currently, but without the Lina, not even more so.
I mean, you also just don't want to see your friends die, right? And you should have it up, hopefully in time to fight, or when he's ready to fight. His Metamorphosis is up in 6 seconds, so he doesn't want to go any time before that.
This is kind of like Terrorblade's got a really high win rate at the moment, but this is kind of the problem with the hero as well. You commit meta to a fight like that top, it looks really good for your team, and then one play by TKC saves the entire team fight, turns it around, and then Energy goes, well, he doesn't have Metamorphosis now, let's just push the base. And then you have to wait a full 2 minutes before you can really contribute to your team's like being sieged. I guess Reflection's a pretty good spell, but the hero they try to fix it with Demon Zeal, the shard, but I just don't think it's that good.
The thing is,
when last did you see a Terrorblade pick up Demon Zeal?
You know, it's weird to me because like I remember the reason for it is supposed to be like, yes, well now when you don't have Metamorphosis you're still relevant, but I don't feel like you are. Like
50% movement speed, 50% attack speed, and it provides 100% more bonuses while melee, so you get 40%. Oh no, it's still 20% and 100 attack speed.
Yeah,
so
which is significant, right? But
yeah.
it doesn't feel good. Like that's honest truth. Like it gives you like this little burst as a melee version of Terrorblade, but
you can use it while you like in range form as well.
Yeah, I mean, granted, but like it's a slot, right? I would almost see this as like the kind of thing you want to pick up as TB when you're out of slots.
Like what can you buy in this game that gives you 100 movement speed and 100 attack speed for 1,400 gold? Nothing.
Many gloves of haste and wood laces.
So I do think it's significant in a game, but he doesn't really have. Like, this is PL pick, man. Like Terrorblade just can't fight this PL. It's really hard for him to find the real one if Legion and Zeus and them aren't there, because like he just keeps going, and the illusions are so tanky now. I don't even think Lina and Zeus like clears them, so it's a really big problem for them.
They don't, and admittedly, obviously, the fact that you have Static Field, which is really good because it just gives you a little bit of insight into what exactly is going on with the with the unit that you're fighting. But the problem is that it doesn't feel like Junaid's been in a position to really deal damage. I mean, look at his items. I mean, at the moment, he's got the pretty much all defensive items, right? He's got the Aether Lens, give him the ability to stay out of the fight. Yules, which is obviously going to give him managed spam spells, but to he's not using it to disable anyone set up or anything.
And Junaid is such an aggressive Dota player. I really don't like this Zeus pick from XD.
Bought out, by the way.
He bought out.
Yeah, he bought out Ags. So I mean, it's funny because he heard us. He was literally sitting there, go like, "I'll show these casters."
Like he's a really aggressive Dota player, and like he plays these Kunkka, Dragonites, Void Spirit type of heroes, and I understand why they picked the Zeus, but it's just not doing what they picked it for, and it's not because of Junaid. It's just the hero isn't that great at the moment.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how this turns out, but at the moment, of course, it does look like NG have the driving gloves on.
Cool, PL is on
They're
Lina.
driving right into Ski, and somehow he picked the right PL.
Yeah, there weren't that many when the engagement started. They kept multiplying as he was
Was it a lottery or was it? Was it like 50-50 or was it?
He's an immortal Dota player. He knew which one was the real one.
Apparently, the real PL is slightly bigger than the others to make him more likely to be targeted. I mean, he does look slightly bigger when I look at him.
So like feels a strange hero because when he doppels, there is a tanky illusion, and I want to actually comment on this. I really like the item choices by Deppy because a lot of Phantom Lancers would have gone the new let me go Aether Lens into Octarine core build, but against this Zeus, Lina, and Legion Commander, he needs raw HP, and that's what the hard SNY gives him. So he's allowing his illusions just to stay alive through the burst, and that's allowing him to do damage. And he's got a full butterfly now. Like, but how is Remedy still top net with?
Because he's good at the Dota game. The problem is not that. The problem is the hero level.
But
that's
your team was
the real issue.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But your team has lost 2 lanes of racks, and you still.
They've only lost 1 lane of racks. Come on, I mean, these they lost a tower, but they're doing their best. Look at them spawning creeps, or in fact, you know what they're like inhibitors. That's actually that's the one thing LoL gets right. They inhibit the other creeps, right?
Did you just say that's what LoL gets right?
Yeah, do they get one thing right? Inhibitors versus racks. Because this bugs me, right?
I zoned out when you said LoL. I'm sorry.
Okay, this bugs me, right? It bugs me that when your racks fall, the other creeps get stronger. You know, like I feel like you should plant your own racks or something like that. I don't know, just weird, like a weird like legacy thing for Dota. Anyways.
Mega creeps is a cool mechanic in the game.
No, I like that. But what I'm saying is like, you should kill the other people's like when you kill other people's racks, you should I don't know like why would if I destroy your racks, why do my creeps get bigger? That's
because
what I'm trying to say.
You're the team that benefits from taking the racks. Like you're the one that took the initiative and played yourself into.
Soldiers live, right? The creeps live here, so I kill your creeps living home.
Then the big brother comes. Like, why did you hurt my little brother?
Yeah, from the other side. Like, the big brother's like, oh, little Jimmy, I see you won the fight already. Let me come beat up the leftovers. Like, come on. Anyways. Alright, so we're going to claim the melee racks mid as we discuss important things like little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy.
And where creeps live.
And big brother.
Where do
like
creeps come
defending little
from?
Jimmy.
The racks, son. But not your racks, your opponent's racks. And when you kill them, yours get... It just doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't do anything at this stage.
Oh, hold on, they managed to get off a very important kill here. And that relates in an immediate buyback from Dassim. He has BOT, so he can get back in this fight. The backlines, Remedy is still trying to do work here. BKB comes out, but they just destroy a couple. B falls, Baron has to buy back as well, and Remedy is limping away. No Sunder available from either. They're going to drop out the Burrow Strike, and this could be the end, because Baron bought back as well. One saving grace
is looking hot.
Didn't have creeps since they delayed this damage onto this bottom racks, but the GG's called. XD, they give into this one. Energy just executed so well this entire matchup.
Yeah, but it was from the drafting phase. I do think XD kind of drafted themselves a little bit into a corner here. They first faced this Terrorblade. It was immediately countered by the PL. Like, it is a counter pick to Terrorblade at the moment. And then every single other pick. Oh, they picked Legion Commander afterwards. Well, Shadow Demon is good against Terrorblade and Legion. Well, Sand King is wave clear. Pit Lord counters Terrorblade in the lane. The entire draft was kind of staple to counter this Terrorblade. but it also counted other things. It counted the Legion duel. It counted the Tusk snowball saves. This Lina had a rough time. Ski was struggling. So they ticked so many boxes just with this PL pick and the Phantom and the Shadow Demon pick. So really good drafting by Energy Esports, knowing what they need to do on the map, and then the itemization. I do think XD needs to change it up a little bit. I like their draft up to the stage that the Zeus came out. We like Zeus 3, 2, and 10. So not a bad KDA, but you don't want your mid Zeus in a 38 minutes only to have 3 kills. Or not your mid Zeus, but your mid laner. So we spoke about the Kunko or DK pick, something that can play with a bit more tempo, join team fights. Because a lot was on Baron's shoulders there, Baron biceps. If Legion was the only real hero jumping in at people and dueling them, Tusk was staying in the back for snowball saves, Lina was playing behind the Legion commander, and your Zeus is on the other side of the map pressing R.
Yeah.
So they need another hero that can do that, and that's usually Junaid in their draft. We spoke about them playing with tempo. Mid Zeus does not give you tempo.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with Game 2 shortly. Of course, this does mean that NG Esports are one game away from securing an opportunity to take revenge against Sinister 5. But of course, I don't think XD are too keen on that match ever happening. So let's see if they can bring things back here in Game 2, or if we're going to be moving on to Sunday in a quick 2-0. We'll see you in a minute. Hey, I got you. That time I wasn't actually muted. Hey, they got a chuck from notAhero. That's good enough for me. All right, welcome back, everyone. Of course,
You make me sad sometimes, HellbirD.
you know, just remember, you're you're trapped in this broadcast with me. Anyways, okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As I try desperately not to scratch my nose, you don't understand the itchiness that is right now and the pains that we as broadcasters go through sometimes, because you just want to get in there sometimes, you know.
like hiccups, sneezes, scratches. It's rough.
Yeah, no, it's a tough life. You know, it's certainly harder to be a sharkcaster these days when you know the camera's on, can't scratch your nose, terrible stuff. Anyways, look, XD are obviously up against it at the moment. They need to beat NG Esports 2 on the trot. That is very, very hard to do. But Sinister 5 have proven that it is in fact possible to do. So XD would love to have an opportunity to do just that. However, I think we all agree the last draft was a bit of a masterclass by NG Sports. If you want to go look back at a team that's like, hey, we have all the answers for everything that you're throwing at us, there it is, right? They did.
I 100% agree, and I kind of said that draft was really good and it was built around itemizing and like for the Terrorblade and then the draft itself. But also, let's go back to Adestam again. You can't have a 14-minute mid-sanking with Blink and Boots of Travel. Like, it's just he controls the map too well. They need to get a hit, counter pick him hard or rotate on him and kill him. But they have to slow down Adestam because their side lanes went fine. It was just kind of mid. Like, look at the difference the sanking could do on the map compared to the Zeus.
Yeah.
It's just tanking turns the entire team fight. You kill 3 heroes. Zeus now and then, like Zeus ulties and you kill 1 hero. So
we've got to get stuck in the notAhero. The draft's already it's deep in at the moment, right?
5 seconds.
Oh, you know, I just noticed I'm behind. I'm watching the stream. I noticed that like my little pretend talk thing was covered by the stinger. So no one knows what on earth I'm going on about. Like, you know, how is that different to every other day of my life? Anyways, okay, good. Mirana Tidehunter energy open up with. I've seen this story before. This was a staple in the majors. And
yeah, it's a response to the Enchantress pick as well, because XT took first pick this game and they opened up with the Bambi, and then you just pick Mirana. Just keep arrowing her creeps. Your Mirana nullifies that entire effect the Enchantress has, and she ends up scaling as well. We saw Snaking at the TI qualifiers play Mirana almost every single game, and he was always kind of like a mini core as well, just because he was using arrow efficiently to arrow like the Enchantress creeps or neutral creeps, and constantly kept scaling. And Tidehunter Mirana, I guess there's a little more mini synergy there as well. Like you can gush and then leap and apply some additional like damage to the target. But then XT responds with Puck. Puck really good against this Mirana pick. It's really good against Tidehunter as well. Silence onto the hero. So we've seen a lot of like high skill players put a silence onto Tidehunter and then the entire team just ignores him. Like not to pop the Kraken so he can't just get Ravage off. So nice little response there. Junaid's also a really good Puck player. Is this a flex pick for XT? I don't think so. I think that is for Junaid.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't think, because it would probably be your, you know, between your yeah, you could play and support all 3 though, right? So I'm trying to figure out if like, I don't think Baron plays Puck.
I think Ski does though. So yeah, definitely like, so it is mini flex pick, but 80% chance Junaid's hero. They opt for the next assassin ban because they probably decided they wanted to Puck. The hero is very strong at the moment as well. Energy does like to run it as well. Templar Assassin, Juggernaut, Medusa, then Luna, Naga Siren, and PL. Does that mean they want to go Terrorblade again? Taking out the Phantom Lancer? And you see Energy prepping for it. Like, they pick up the Lion. It's really good against Puck. It's seen as the Puck counter. But it's also a good hero if XD decide to go back for this TB pick, because the PL has been taken out of the pool. So no Pit Lord. They've already shown the offlane in the form of the Tidehunter. PL has been taken out by Energy themselves. Ooh, no wait. Energy gonna pick Terrorblade? We saw DP play it the other night. It didn't go too well. I think that's the game they lost. But Abaddon. What is up with this hero, HellbirD?
I am actually a big fan of Abaddon at the moment, and that's weird from me
I'm
because
a fan of core Abaddon, not support Abaddon.
Yeah. So look, I think that it's funny. I was talking about this morning actually to somebody about like how one position ABBA is like a thing in my mind because it can just be with
60 damage talent. Or no,
Yeah.
they moved it to 10, and I think it's like 40 or 50 now. So it's been reduced, but it's still 40 damage.
Hmm.
Level 10 is it 40? I'm gonna just double check my Abaddon statement. Yeah. It's 65 damage at 15, so it's a big amount. So get Abaddon to level 15, and basically he's a monster. Energy does good for the Kunkka pick, yeah.
I just love Energy's draft already. I don't even need to see anymore. I'm like,
You've got X into arrows, good old school combo there. You've got Lion if they decide to pick any of these illusion heroes, and it deals with Puck. Maybe the Abaddon was a response to the Lion pick. If someone does get cheaped, you can purge it now. So just put the shield on that target, assist them in staying alive. Because Puck being dispelled is really big. We see how popular Aeon Disc is on the Euro, because just that little mini dispel plus the moment for him to get his evasive spells off, it's very significant. So it's strange bans by XD though. Like they take out Juggernaut and then the Medusa. Is that in response to the illusion? No, I guess. Yeah, you don't really want to be omni slashing a bunch of illusion heroes, and PL can naturally dodge it. So maybe they thought the Naga and the PL was a setup for a Jug pick. Jug Lion Lane, not horrible. Gyro? Is this an offlane ABBA, and then they can do...
could still be a sport Puck and then a mid gyro for the, or even a sport gyro. So XC aren't showing their hand, which is great, but man, I just feel like NG had their draft is so good. I love their draft. Like if I was playing for either of these two sides right now, and I had to decide which one of these drafts would have, I wouldn't even think about it. I would just be like,
I do agree with you, but if XT decides to move this Abaddon to a pos 3 role and they pick something like IO now with the Gyrocopter, it's going to be really hard for them to burst through these heroes. We saw Abaddon in the pro scene, like they kind of rush Ags, and they had to literally every single fight focus Abaddon first to pop his ulti before they could kill anything else, because otherwise the Abba just saves them with the Aghanims build. So if they go like another sustain hero here, like IO with the Gyrocopter, and you just kind of outlast Energy Esports, I like that. Because the only real burst from the side of Energy Esports is obviously Kunkka, and then a Lionfinger. Mirana, I guess Arrow and Starstorm was a little bit of a mini nuke, but I do think IO with Enchantress and Abaddon next to you outlast this. And you can lane the Enchantress with the Gyrocopter at the beginning, and you go Abba plus IO in the off lane. That is a terrifying lane.
do XD run an IO though?
I can't see, I think B plays a bit of IO, if I'm not mistaken. So
10 seconds
I don't recall an IO.
I don't think they're gonna do it, but it is an option, because I do think they've got so much sustain now, and Energy Esports needs a carry. They can't then go back for like AA, which is really
You
bad.
know what? They do have an IO registered with their team. They use it against Pingu. They've actually used IO a lot. So I'm alt tab. So if there's already a pick, just let me know. But they actually have IO. I want to see who's gonna play it. Give me a second.
The draft does then lack like catch, but Puck can do that for them. But it's a lot of sustain. I would actually like another healing hero here. Like even Undying. There's no tombstone hitters. I guess like Mirana can kind of do it. Underlord.
I was convinced we were going to see it, but okay, it's going to be the Underlord.
It's more sustain though, because that's your aura buyer. He's going to go Greaves or like Pipe is probably like vital in the early stages for this Kunkka boat. So just like Pipe and Greaves. It also stops him from probably picking Terrorblade, and then Energy just goes back for the Lifestealer pick. I like this.
Interestingly, I wasn't too impressed by the Lifestealer performance that Deppy had against Sinister 5. Now, it was weird because he farmed well, but it was more
Nah,
like the
but
hero didn't
his
feel
team,
effective.
his team was too far behind. Like he was doing so much damage, but his team was too far behind. Like they completely shut Alistam down in that game. Like he was their only form of damage. I think if you go back to that game and look at the damage stats, Deppy probably did the highest damage in his team by like 10k plus than anyone else. So that lifestealer pick in that game was really good. It countered so many heroes, but we saw Sun 5 completely changed the way they played. They left this lifestealer alone and just stopped Alistam from doing anything on the map. Because like we said, Energy Esports, Alistam's playing good Dota, and when he's allowed to kind of snowball or even trade even, he looks terrifying. You have to literally beat him in the laning phase. I don't like this underlord pick.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. Again, like the first 4 from Energy had me totally convinced. I love that setup. I mean, the amount of disable and catch and damage. I mean, just think of every single one of the heroes, excluding the lifestealer, has powerful disable, right? Like scary kind of stuff. And you putting that on top of a lifestealer that gets kited. So, you know, well, you're not going to be kiting a lifestealer if you're always stunned.
There is a plus side for Exdee here with this underlord pick. Energy doesn't really have tower push. Lifestealers are going like armlets and then S and Y. There's no more like Deso rush on a lifestealer. And Kunkka's not a big tower pusher. Like the off Tidehunter isn't. None of these heroes really push towers. And I kind of think how Exdee needs to play this match is they need to let Energy come to them, but they always need to be set up preemptively. Your pit lord needs to be the body defending your towers, especially your mid and your safe lane. The moment those towers start taking pressure, Baron needs to be there, and then the supports need to be setting up around him to save him if he does get in trouble, and then Junaid can make a decision of how he wants to play. And if they do that, they delay this game. Gyrocopter obviously can get big. They do have tower push in the form of Abaddon plus Gyrocopter, and you've also got the Enchantress getting creeps off it. So Abaddon putting the Curse of Avernus on the tower, Bambi creep hitting it, Gyro hitting it. So there is push mechanics from their side. So it's kind of delay and maintain, and then explode from the side of from Exdee.
There's one other thing I want to say that's in Exdee's favor right now, and that is that it's EGL One. And in EGL One, things rarely go according to the script. But with that said, even according to EGL One's own script, so who knows what's going to happen. Anyways, if you're just tuning in, of course, this is game 2 between Exdee and BEE, because he's getting beaten up at the moment. As they do fight over the ruin. It's going to go to a piece for the time being. TKC is going to show off what a Ravage is going to look like later with a double stun with the Earth Spike. Let's try that again.
2 apiece.
Welcome to EGL One's low bracket final. Exdee 1 game behind at the moment. Energy 1 game away from advancing to the grand finals, the rematch with Sinister 5. Can they do it, or will Exdee pull this one back? Of course, though, it is that time, and it's that time for Realzy, ladies and gentlemen. It's the time, the best time, well, kind of, like, I mean, the Dota is the best time, but it's the second best time here at EGL One. That's right, it's free stuff time. Now, don't do anything. Don't do anything until I say. There will be trouble if you do anything before I say. For me, because I get in trouble. And it's your fault.
HellbirD angry.
Yeah, HellbirD angry, right? And I have backup. notAhero has biceps as big as his own brain, right? So you've seen how well he drafts. Be frightened.
Yeah, no, so now everyone in the chat that thinks I'm stupid thinks I've got small arms as well. Thanks, HellbirD.
It was supposed to be a compliment, okay? Anyways, moving right along, large bicep, large brained enforcer, right? Of course, what this means is that if you're watching the stream, please come and join us on... Sorry, if you're watching game, come and join us on the stream. Go over to YouTube, type in Evesports, and you will find us casting live, and you'll get to name your favorite Mall Santa experience with us here tonight, or this afternoon. And of course, we'll be giving away some free stuff as well, as said, it's only available to South African residents, so please bear that in mind as top lane. Again, BE's interrupting my tomfoolery. Stop it. I'm going to send my friend after you. Anyways, but of course, we're giving away a a 250 Rand Steam voucher, and it is once again only available to South African residents. Now, with that said, in order to win this, you can do 2 things to improve your chance. The first thing is to hit the subscribe button. People who are subscribed will get an additional opportunity to win. They'll be entered twice, in effect. But you also need to write in the word Dota 2 ZA. One word, numeric 2, casing doesn't matter. Dota 2 ZA. Don't do anything else. Just that. Don't put an exclamation point, an @ sign. I'm looking at you, Joshua, if you're here. Anyways. And then, of course, you just type it in once and you get an opportunity to enter. Dota 2 ZA.
B and Soup having a mini brawl top.
They really are. They really are.
This is not stopped.
Did I miss anything out of Hero?
No,
Production,
Dota 2 ZA. Awesome free giveaway. EGL One. So keyword is Dota 2 ZA. If you type it in more than once, you will be removed
Top
from
lane
the draw.
Scoop's going to go down. That's your first blood. It gets caught up by the rocket. So XD managed to find their way onto the scoreboard early on as they bring down the Mirana.
So that's kind of the strength of Abaddon in the laning phase as well, especially against a hero like Mirana. Mirana only has 52 base damage, so it's pretty low, and her armor game is also not very high. She's only got 2 armor starting, but he did opt for a ring of protection, just so you could actually trade here. But look at B, it's going straight back. Just keep trading with Soup. Does Soup have any leaf? Yeah, he's got 1 leaf charge. So just yeah, such a what?
Oh yeah, and Chonch is actually going down the bottom lane. So Dep is going to pick it up, and well, I guess the verdict's still out.
Deppy's having a free time, eh?
Deppy is having, yeah, I was going to say, he's not struggling, one might say, in this bottom lane. 23 for 4, and looking pretty solid. Soup being run down by BEE, as...
Yeah, it's just very poking and prodding at the moment by both sides.
Does he have enough damage to finish the job? No, he doesn't have a level yet in Miscoil, but...
Oh, he's in trouble!
He's still another leap, so he's toying with them. It's a mind game.
It's like poking and prodding lanes. Both teams kind of just like feeling each other out.
Hit me! Oh no!
He
hit him! He hit him! The tip comes out, and he managed to get the shield up in time. And there might be a return tip, and there it is. Who's saltier now, Soup?
Yeah. So Soup was pretty like stoked when he hit that arrow because B has been a nuisance, been in his face the entire laning phase. And when he hit that arrow, he was like, haha, it's gonna go down. And just the shield again. Abaddon things, man. I really like that he hasn't gone Miscoil here. It is a really nice spell, and it was really good when you could deny yourself with the Miscoil. But I don't think B opts for it in this laning phase. They want to be forcing rotations, burned, defending towers, and then Abaddon plus 1 or 2 heroes needs to be able to push towers. So put more levels into that Curse of Avernus, the attack speed ramps up, and make sure you can push down towers.
Top lane. Again, you can see this. The skirmish is...
Have you even looked at middle? Because, like, Puck versus Kunkka, it kind of feels like there's nothing to look at.
No, actually, we spoke so I hate playing against Kunkka as a Puck, right? Because you pump fake. You saw it there. Yes, I'm just pump faking. He's trying to bait out the face. You can't face shift me. Face shift me, Junaid.
But even with that, you can't kill the Puck unless he really messes up.
Yeah, but it hurts. It
both ways.
Makes life hard. But as you said, Kunkka's so tanky, right? Look at him go. He's thinking about it. Is he actually going to connect the torrent? No. In fact,
was to secure the range. Secure the range creep. Such a passive lane,
however, he in a bit of trouble. He gets bailed out by Baron with the bit of malice, but Deppy happy to just simply rage, and well, he skirts the fence, gets caught out on the edge there, just tagged the side of his clothing, but he is still only fighting, fitting in. His off lane not working out well. We'll find and yet another kill on top lane. Come on, B, do it. Tip him, tip him, tip him.
Nah, it's not Soup. It's not Soup. That's why he's not tipping. It was only upper.
Oh yeah, he was supposed to tip Soup because he wasn't there. Fight, battle, hate each other off this game.
I don't know if you saw what OG did at the TI qualifiers. They would kill someone on the side lane and then they would tip the enemy mid. And then they would kill someone in the side lane again and then they would tip the enemy mid. And the guy got so confused. It was like you like question marked him like, why are you tipping me? Like I'm not involved in this. Just mental warfare.
You know what I actually want to see more of is like high fives and flag planting.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want. You're hearing the Sinister 5? If you're out there, You're listening here. Want to see some high fives and some flag planting.
Flag planting. Is
Yeah,
that
what do you
really
call
what
it?
you call it? Like, what do you...
What would you call it then?
When you put a flag down, don't you, like... It's not colonize?
Okay. Whew. I thought, you know, I thought you were gonna say like erect, and it was gonna be like a.
What?
Yeah, you erect the flag.
No, I'm talking about, like, when they put a flag, like, on the moon. What is that called? It's not planting a flag, it's...
I also don't think it's called colonizing the moon. Ski in trouble, bottom lane, trying to ring a Rosie with Deppy, but he's gonna be brought down.
This is gonna bother me now. Like...
You plant a flag. I'm telling you.
Not planting a... It's not!
Okay, let's have it out, right? Fans of Dota, what does one do when they wish to place a flag in the ground so that it might wave around in the wind? Do they A, colonize the flag?
No, I say it's not colonizing. My literal wording was, it's not that. But it's definitely not planting a flag. There's a specific term for it. But anyway, back to the
Fun
Dota.
with flags here, the EGL One low bracket
Fun
grand
with
final.
flags.
Just the really dumb edition where people don't know how you place one.
Yeah, like we don't even know what that's called. These lanes are so stagnant. Like I don't know where to watch at the moment. Like both teams, it's 8.5 minutes in. There's some action going on top, but there's no real. Tyranta has Ravage though. Are they gonna try and go for this? No. Oh, Kunka's wrapping top. Adestam's got a DD as well.
Trying to
he's
get
bombing with
he's bombing. I think he was kind of interested, but they do manage to get a trusty shovel and some chip vest.
He's still rotating top.
Yeah.
You can see Yappa's playing
Oh,
aggressive.
the arrow is gonna hit, and it's gonna hit for all 5 seconds. However, there's a little bit of support coming in from Adastam, and it doesn't buy enough time though. For the shield to come out, and that does of course mean that we'll fall here as Kunka gets
This is really interesting.
and a big kill.
Please look at Remedy's item choice here. Okay, Junaid gets an easy kill on the Mirana. But Junaid opting for a Crystallis level 1. We saw this a really long time ago from Thompson when he was doing... Oh, Junaid's in trouble.
Junaid, he's got to time this perfectly well, and he does!
Oh.
That is so much harder than you might think. However, this is a near impossible kill onto Adastam. He's still the Coco run.
He's got the troll
He will
summoner
get
as
the
well.
support that comes in. TKC held that Earth Spike, read the phase, and the arrow flies through again. It is dangerous right now, those arrows.
Battle of the skill matchup at the moment. Both teams using these skill shots, and both teams reacting to them. Like, really good play. Is Adam securing the rune? No, like the troll summoner stopped it. Really nice use by the troll summoner from Ski as well. He's gonna take it back. Okay, no, he's gonna take the tomato. But yeah, back to this gyrocopter build. He's opting for Crystallis first, and we saw Thompson do this a while back on almost all of his heroes because it's one of the cheapest forms of efficient damage that you can get because it gives you quite a bit of damage, and it also gives you a crit chance. Like you get plus 32 damage, and it's a 30% chance for 160% crit. So it will accelerate his farm, but is it better than a Maelstrom, HellbirD? I don't know. It's 1,900 gold, so I guess it's cheaper than Maelstrom, like by quite a bit. And it also kind of makes
They're
it
going to go in on the Abaddon here, and they do commit the Earth Spike. Nowhere's going to go with the Ravage here, but there are problems here for the Abaddon. He's so close to level 6 as well. I can imagine just wishing upon a star that something will die nearby so he can get it, and he's just rope. Is he out? Is he out? No. Oh, it was so close, but look at
He should have
phase,
shielded!
man.
He had a phonic shield. If he shielded before the TP, he would have gotten out there. Okay, maybe the line would have stunned him. I don't know.
The lion was using a courier to spot him out. I mean,
Yeah.
I love how far South African Dota has come. You really just have to take a moment and appreciate it. I mean, the fact that players are... Oh, hold on. The fact that players are getting caught solo warding. Just thanks Ski. Make me look bad here.
He's hard to kill. He's got 6. They have to leave him.
Got a Coco rum if they want it. And they do want it. And...
It's gonna miss!
And it's
The
so much
chokers are
worse
so
than I could-
annoying!
So
Oh,
much worse than I could ever have expressed.
that's a lion finger down. That's
the Coco
a
rum.
ghost ship. A ghost ship.
It's a Coco Rum. It's the name of the ghost ship.
Dire's top
It gives
tower
Coco Rum.
Yeah, it's called the Coco Rum Express.
are fortified.
That's the name of the ghost ship. Ship.
It
Ship.
gives ghost shippy things.
Oh no, Junaid. Oh yes.
Oh, here they go. They're on
Oh yes.
Deppy.
Deppy actually
He's still on 6
isolated
though.
here. Gonna dance his way out though. Armlet already up on him. Happy days.
Maybe that's the thought process behind this Crystallis as well. They didn't want to go Maelstrom because Lifestealer just rages and then doesn't affect him in the team fights. And Crystallis is an effective way to still do damage to him.
Well, Deppy
Oh,
trying
Baron.
to commit to Baron, but he is in deep. They're all in
good
deep.
foil.
They come in, but here comes Junaid! And they get everything. The backline Ravage is good though. TKC low and does fall. They're going to pick up 3. Just losing the Underlord so far. No
They're gonna
Uber
lose
for
more.
you. However, Remedy, he wants the watermelon. He wants to taste the expression. Maybe fill it up with some vodka or some spirits, but he definitely wants to bring down the watermelon. It's going to go the way of Junaid in the end with the illusion orb.
Whoa, XD Gaming! Junaid held
So
that
good.
foil to the exact perfect time. Like, that was such... He's trying to pop the Abba ulti. The soup.
Dire's
Him and B are really, like, going at each other this game. Like, he
There's only hate there.
put his life at threat there just to pop the borrowed time. Like, come on. I guess he had leap charges, but still. He gets silenced by Puck, there he goes down. Really just cheeky by Soup there.
To be fair, though, a minute of no borrowed time after you just take an objective. I mean, let's be honest. Like, there's a kind of a weird mentality, and I think you see
Oh,
this a
no one's
lot.
defending middle.
Dire's middle tower is
Well, this is exactly what I was kind of talking about.
They
though,
need
is
to
that
defend this tower.
You often
Yeah.
see this. That people take an objective and they all kind of
But
back off
Burn
the comment.
instantly TP in.
And they do
Like-
bring in the Underlord again, and Deppy, he's got to deal with the aggression coming out from the Abaddon, gets in a creep, he's got his own little Uber, one of those little carties. Have you guys seen the new Uber? What's it called, like, Uber Go or something? Anyway, he's Uber going in the creep, gonna go back onto the real Uber. That's
Yeah.
an Uber Black for sure.
That's
the
really good play by
extreme
XD though.
version. Was it an Uber van? What is the van called? XL?
Yes.
He's definitely an Uber XL, right? Like, that's what he is.
Please stop.
Yeah,
So that was a really good play by Energy. They're losing their mid tower, obviously like providing XD with map control, and then they respond with, we have to get this tower. Lifesteal runs and rages, hits it,
Oh,
pops
hold
into a creep.
on. Adestab.
Oh.
They actually read nice. He's got TKC back there, so I doubt you're going to see any further aggression from B. Abaddon going to be happy
Yeah,
to chill out.
XD needs to like now focus on this bottom tower. Abaddon needs to move down here with the gyrocopter or even the Bambi with a creep. And this bottom tower is extremely important now because yes, both teams have the mid tower now, but Energy already has the safe lane tower for the side of XD. So just a little bit more freedom on the map. Their triangle is a little bit more secure, and you can see Adestem stacking. What is he going? He's got the Heaven's HellbirD. He's going. He's got the Omelette, and he's going Heaven's HellbirD next. That's a strange one because Gyro is a really hard hero to Heaven's HellbirD because he does still do quite a bit of damage from other sources.
Hmm.
I guess he just wants the status resistance, and like you don't really want an S and Y on Kunkka.
And now that you mentioned though, that like, yeah, this is one of the issues I have with.
has been
I already want to say Uberlord, but I mean I said it now. So with the Uberlord, who's going to have to TP out in top lane because he's got Deppy on him. The thing about him is that like I feel like I know he can do damage, but it's like one of those weird things where like he'll do damage in a fight. You'll see at the end again, like, oh, look how much damage our Underlord did. He played well, but you don't kind of feel it. And that's the weird thing for me. And I think feeling in a team fight is where it kind of matters. And
Underlord's strength is as well is when your team has won a team
sorry,
fight.
bot lane,
and
they're going to re-engage on a big tower. Remedy comes in, and they do get a beautiful engagement off them. They brought in a lot, though. Junaid with the
Junaid.
dream call. He wants to finish off Soup. Soup low, but not dead yet. B will have to pop his ulti. The damage, though, being committed to Junaid, not onto the Abba. He stands his ground on the front line. He's been caught up by the X. Will get pulled straight back in, and they manage to pick up 2 for just the line. The arrow flies through, will not find its mark. However, Baron still being beamed down on by Deppy. Takes a gush as well. And now, can XD turn and burn potentially because the creep wave is gone. They do have Jappa running in the front lines. Ravage used, but with the parcel of Deppy inside him, will toss out a lot of damage.
Oh,
The arrow also will find its mark this time. And they're going to combine up with the Torrent Ski does for. I mean, that's one way to deal with it. Just Tidebringer the creep next to him.
I think the moment the gyrocopter goes down there, XD needs to back away. It's really hard for them to fight into this without his source of damage with the cooldown and flat cannon and all and everything. Like he's a big chunk of their damage at the moment, and without him, with him dying first in that engagement, is really hard for them to take the fight. Janae does have a Witchblade, so he pops heroes as well, but he wants to get onto Lion or onto this Mirana on the backlines. He missed the coil onto Soup there. And I think if that was it, like the puck would have stayed in. But after he missed the coil on the Mirana, he immediately got out. So just I think a little bit of miscommunication by XD, and they kind of he's going Lincoln Sphere next. Oof, I don't know. I get yeah, Lion, obviously. Like what am I saying?
I mean, I guess you can kind of hope to trust that your Abba's got your back, but
yeah, but isn't Aeon
doesn't
just
help.
cheaper? And it does it basically the same thing in that situation.
I mean, I tend to agree with you. I mean, I always look at and
You
just
think
mostly as is there something like a void that's going to start a fight that I can't win, or
Yeah.
is there a position? And I guess it kind of applies to Lions as well. They're holding thing. They're going to commit the Dream Core onto the lights to the bottom. He's going to rage out of it. They do, however, get a bit of Malice down, and TKC in a little bit of trouble here. Beautiful Impale comes up from the Earth Spike, hitting everything. But XD on the front foot. You can see Janae with
Dippy's in
Acer.
trouble.
He wants to bring down the Life Stealer and does. Back he goes though. They'll finish Soup as well. The Torrent does catch out the Gyro. At a stab, he's shown himself and he wants out. BBB, he says, the Coco Rump goes over their heads, does pass through him. It's not a fail boat because it's keeping him alive, but is it going to keep him alive long enough? He is taking so much damage. He is being swarmed, and guess what? That's what it feels like, being in the middle of XD when they're just all smashing. I mean, it's rare in your life that you'll have every XD member beating down you at the exact same time. That's exactly what they got. And of course, with the Curse of Avernus up on this tier 1 tower bottom, they will be rewarded with it quite easily. A beautiful response by XD to recover from their last loss though.
Yeah, that was a very, very nice play. Janae getting that haste rune, immediately going on to Depi. Depi ends up running away, but they had the gyrocopter rocket on him and his rage was still on CD. So just kept following him, tracking him, chucking the orb out to get back into the initial team fight as well. And 2 big kills. Oh, wait. Ski?
Oh, that
Ski's
is
going down.
just a support, so I guess it's okay, but they need to get the other support out of there first. And TKC, he's got the Tranquil boots, but it's Tranquil and Tranquil action, and it does mean that the Abaddon will evade the aggression from these heroes, and he'll be able to back off to the safety of his tier 2 tower.
Yeah, and you see the itemization by the side of XD as well. You've got the medallion on the Abaddon, you've got the mech and the hood on Baron. So going for additional sustain, additional heal. Interesting to see, like no one's got on a Holy Locket yet. I'm surprised Bambi doesn't have a Holy Locket, because I kind of think if Bambi goes Holy Locket plus the Aghanim Shard, it's so much sustain. And there's no vessel. Oh, okay, no, I'm lying. Soup has built a full spirit vessel, already realizing that they're going to have to start dealing with all this healing.
Okay guys, just a quick note, it is your last chance to enter the draw. We're going to be doing the draw at about 25 minutes in game time, so make sure you do enter. It's Dota ZA, one word, no exclamation marks, none of your numbers, Joshua, and only once. And of course, only available to Cypher Residence. It's for 250 Rand Steam voucher. Use it to buy your favorite Dota 2 cosmetic. Tell us what it was. You never write, you never call, you never tell us what's going on. It makes me sad.
What?
Has anyone told you what they bought with their 250 Rand voucher, notAhero? They haven't told me.
No, every single person.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, wait.
Shuffling noises of taking off headset. Shouting in the background.
Oh, Soup's in trouble.
Okay.
No, I just like no one has written us any emails
Oh,
on
so you're
there.
also not in love, did you say?
No.
You know what the worst part is like...
Oh, Aniston
Dota
caught
comments.
burned in the.
Yeah, this is
he's
an
out.
intriguing engagement, but
He's
he does
out.
have the ulti. Is he out, though?
He's out. He's
That was
out.
close. That
It
was
was
real
really close. It was closer than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, that was your caster's license in the line, hey? You called it.
Well, do I upgrade my caster's license now that I called it?
No, you survived on the edge. You were so close. He's out, guys. He's out. Look at my biceps.
Shut up.
Okay. Done. Okay.
You're not gonna stop with this today, are you?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, you know, the thing is, I got nothing.
Well,
I got
at least I didn't call myself Etienne biceps like Burren did.
Yeah, I
Burren.
know, right? Like, and I'm
Huh?
pretty sure that he loses on the biceps thing as well, right? Like, he looks like a fit guy. I'm not gonna lie, but like, I think the only way to tell this is with an arm wrestle live at EGL One Grand Finals. Not a hero versus Baron biceps arm wrestle. Winner takes all.
I get Burren's entire cut of the prize money if I win. no. Like I'm just lying.
Can I ask you a genuine question? Sorry, I know this sounds like totally off pace, but like it is a serious question for a second, right? So I'm very curious to get your thoughts on what physical sort of, I would say like ability, how well it translates to a game like Dota, because I can't help but notice that a lot of people that are very good at Dota also happen to be very good at something else. I think, like for example, Clinton Loomis, Fear, obviously TI winner, TI 5. If I'm not mistaken, he used to be like
player.
it was a basketball. I was going to say tennis, but I remember he was like an athlete before.
No, he was a basketball player.
A lot of like players I know, there were also like sportsmen in the form of either cricket players or rugby players, etc. Do you think there's some sort of like, I mean, you wouldn't expect it, right? Especially since gaming is often like a.
So the thing is, like, there's a lot of similarities. Like me, like I actually, like Ryan Konkowski even had like said that, like if you a competitive person, you like sport, and Dota is a competitive game. So there's already that correlation. Like you have to work with 4 other teammates to play as a unit and then reach a goal. So it's a team-oriented sport. So if you're a sportsman, you like gaming, you should probably like games like CS:GO or Dota, etc. But from the physical aspect that you're referring to, so there's 2 factors that I think are significant. And if you have obviously like been playing sports, etc., like you've got quick reaction time. Reaction time helps you in Dota as well. And if you've been playing sport from a young age, then that reaction time is kind of like second nature. It's been drilled into you. And Dota is a game of reactions. Like if you can react 0.5 seconds faster than your opponent, then you have the advantage. So yeah, I think there's definitely a correlation.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I think I've always considered the fact that. Sorry, I just want to give a little bit of information as well, if you don't mind, notAhero, about like who you are as a human being. Obviously, you're not just somebody who enjoys working out. You also have like a bit of a background in the kind of science of nutrition as well. So obviously, you're coming from almost more educated space than most would.
Yeah. I'm a qualified sports nutritionist.
Yeah. So just for insight for everyone there, that I'm not just asking a random buff dude. There's a reason for my question. But the thing
but
is,
also like frequent exercise also leads to better mental concentration or mental health, because your brain gets more oxygen because your heart rates are elevated. So obviously because of that, your brain function is elevated, and that also could relate to better performance in games like Dota. Because I know like Demon's team, when he was playing for TNC, their team was kind of forced to go to the gym, that TI, where they beat OG. What TI was that? TI 7? Where OG got knocked out by TNC?
I mean, it wasn't 8.
Yeah, it was 6 or 7. And their team was forced to have at least an hour a day's worth of exercise, even if it was just like a jog or whatever. Because
right, so off the exercise topic, though, I got to go because we have to congratulate Vixen Plays, who has won the.
Congratulations, Vixen.
Yeah. You have to come claim it, though. You don't just get it. You got to come pop up in the chat. Otherwise, we're giving it to somebody else. And I also would like to say that Unique and Emmy, I don't believe you. Neither of your names are Vixen, because you spoke earlier in the chat. So, I called you out. You're not gonna fool us. We're too smart for you.
Yeah, and it's not like Unique is a stalwart in the SA Dota scene. Like, well, so who's this Unique guy, Mr. Team Pingu there?
Isn't that Unique guy that Vixen Plays person?
Trying their luck, eh? 250 Rand Steam voucher with the lies and deceit, apparently.
Cheaters. You're like the guys that play against OG in qualifiers.
Oh, no, don't. Yeah, that's debatable, but yeah, it was a bit fishy. But both teams are like really scared to make the next move. You can kind of see mimicking each other's movements. Energy moved into the top jungle. XD moved into the bottom jungle. Opposite side of the max, kind of like musical chairs at the moment, dodging each other. What is everyone waiting for? There's a full BKB on the gyrocopter. He's going Satanic next. Junaid's got us Lincolns. He's going Ags next, which Blink Ags. I do think this Ags is going to be very significant because it makes Lifestealer's life a little bit harder. You can still infest into someone and then they can run away. So, can you infest if you coiled? I don't even know.
I mean, if you don't know, I don't. I think you can though. Like I feel like
yeah, I think you can as well because it's
you're
awesome.
not because you
you
can't
can't
blink.
you can't Juggernaut
right?
Omni Slash if you coiled.
Illusion.
So
Let's ask the stream viewers. Unique, since you know it's on you now.
Oh, Adam's
tried to
recoiled.
scam us. Mid lane, they have a big catch here on an Astam, and they drop the Coco Rum, which keeps him interested. But Astam, well, that Rum's going to run off, and you're still going to die. In the end, they pick off a big target, but they did commit a big BKB to that. Bear in mind, Remedy used up the entire duration of his big BKB. He's down to 8 seconds. That's something that matters so much as it used to. Arrow flies through, of course it is. The war continues. The war continues. Like, you know, I almost feel that was fate. It was destiny that was going to happen. But they're going to heal him on the back line.
there's a buyback. They need to back away now.
Okay, so let's see what happens here.
They can't fight into Ravage.
Is missing. Roshan evades the arrow himself.
This is really bad for XD.
Can they even fight into this?
No, they can't. There's no BKB on the gyro.
They just lose this potentially. They get caught up by the torrent on the back line here. B runs in. They look like they're going to try fight one way or another. The Ab on the front line. They're going to drop the cooldown as well to buy a little bit of extra time. Usually all onto the back lines, but out comes the Ravage! It hits all 5! And XD in trouble now, they're limping away. Baron will get off a pretty good pit himself, but they've managed to catch out the Abba as well. They buy back on the gyro! They want this fight, they still want to go. The Ravage is down, maybe they can still turn it. The Coco Rum comes through, they're going to phase shift through it. It'll only hit onto the support. Baron in the backline trying to get re-involved here. They're actually chasing energy back, they've brought back on 2. They have to make this! The Dream Coil and Adestab brings him down! They're going to bring the Tide Hunter. That's a dieback! And XD, they'll commit! And you know what? They're going to be rewarded for it. Roshan is theirs. It was costly, but in the end it paid off. That was a lottery ticket, my man. Just don't need the cheese behind me.
I got the biggest flashbacks there, to like TI times with this play by Remedy, because I called it and said they shouldn't fight this. Ravage is up and he doesn't have BKB. But Remedy clearly tells his team, we can fight this, I have buyback. Because they don't commit there without him buying back. Like, he died, waited for his chance, bought back, the puck Dream Coil came off CD, and that secures Roche for them. And 3k lead, dieback on Adestam, and your Gyrocopter that just bought back has the Aegis. So they can use this now as a farming Aegis, or as a pressure Aegis. And yeah, just that was great play by XD. Remedy knowing that he's got buyback there, he can come back into the fight if needed. And just small things like Ski Out stayed alive there way too long because of the Glimmer Cape. There was no detection by the side of Energy Esports. Does anyone have? Okay, there's sentries on the Lion, but that's about it. And that Glimmer Cape just allowed him to stay alive as well and then re-engage.
Up on the front line, wants to take on the Abba here. Remember, they don't have the ult and they're fighting into an Aegis. This is interesting because there's pretty much everything available. Full BKB this time on Remedy as well. He didn't use it since the previous engagement when they actually brought down at Astam for the first time. But it looks like he will back off.
Yeah, they can use this as a farming Aegis now, but they need to farm aggressively. So they need to take over the side of Energy Esports on the map, and then just kind of use this Aegis as a pressure just to get a little bit of a net worth gap at the moment because it's really tight.
Alright, well, I want to point this out. I'll take a look at the graphs at the moment. Mr. Observer, look at the difference that fight made. Decision making from XD was on point. They took the lead from about 2,500 to almost 6k.
Yep.
Their experience lead is the big deal though. Almost 10,000 ahead, that matters. That hurts. You can't buy your way out of that hole.
Yeah, and Junaid's looking really good.
Positioned.
Yeah, and Junaid on this type of hero is looking way better. We saw him on the Zeus in the previous game, and we kind of said that he's an aggressive Dota player, and we would like to see him on things that are more active. And Puck, one of the most active heroes in Dota at the moment. He's just looking so good. He's got the Blink Dagger. He's got this Witch Blade, so he's doing so much damage. These supports can't stay alive in these fights against him, and it's really hard for TKC on this line to pressure this Puck now. And something we didn't mention, like yes, the Lion was a pick into the Puck to counter it, but it's really hard to play Lion against Gyrocopter because the flax always just hit you and you don't have HP.
Like that arrow just hit Baron, but he immediately gets dispelled by BE's Abaddon, and they are going to try take this fight. Now Remedy gets 4-star back. He's going to be okay. Was there an X on him? No, it wasn't. I guess it was probably just the wall clipping underneath his animation is 4-star. But it looks like XD are going to back off here. They get a little bit of damage onto the tier 3 tower. Does matter. Might matter later, but check it out. Energy Esports, they're not done with you just yet. They want to smoke up and make something of it. And look who's bot. No one. No one is bot. I lied.
But
gone.
This is just smart Dota by XD because a lot of other teams would have keep poking there because you have Aegis, but their side lanes were not pushed in. The tier 3 top was actually being pressured slightly by creeps. You can see it's taking a little bit of damage. And that's just kind of why they're back. Like, you don't go for a push like that even if you have Aegis, if your side lane is pushed out. Because if you, for some reason, do lose that engagement, heroes like Kunkka can just go straight top. The entire team just runs top and you lose a whole lane of racks. So, opting to re-push their lanes, they still have a bit of time on this Aegis. And then they can just play from there. Like, they are on the driver's seats at the moment. They're the ones with Aegis. What is B going next on this apple? He's going him and HellbirD. I would have actually tried to like to see him get an Ags, because it effectively kind of does the same thing. Like, you disarming the lifestealer from killing people, or you activate borrow time and any ally that's close to you in 1,600 range, which is significant. Mistquill will be cast onto it automatically, so it's really good. So I would have actually liked the 7 HellbirD to be an Ags, but I do see the purpose of it. It's going to stop this lifestealer from hitting your cores, because B is on the front line the whole time.
So I also want to make a point, by the way. They're getting a Dream Coil up on, so an Axe up onto Junaid. Now, a lot of the players being around this lifestealer kind of just raging away, and they can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Pierce's spell immunity, yes, all of a sudden, right? So that's a problem for the lifestealer. Axe
So
up.
he still has the infest mechanic though, where you can just like climb on a creep. But
Okay, good current hits onto 2. Remedy is pushing out the bot lane. They're getting the Philomanas down, just ready protecting. He's got that Aegis up, not for too much longer.
oh, it just
Not for
expired.
any longer!
It's
He
just
gets pushed
expired.
back, helped out, it does expire, and they're trying to force this fight. However, the Coca Rum hits nothing. They still have the Ravage to work with, though.
That was
man,
almost a disaster.
That was...
That was almost a disaster for XD. Oh,
yeah,
they're
that was-
hunting.
That was a big one. So again, Soup and Co, they want
No
to find
detection.
something. And look at them go. Don't forget to tip your driver.
The cause on the side of energy is going to have to start carrying dust, especially Yappa. He's trying to get this Lotus Orb, but I do feel at this stage in the game he can kind of swap out his Soul Ring for a dust, or even his one when it only has 4 charges, because like this Glimmer Cape on Ski is doing way too much work. I think that, oh wait, they're in, but he just glimmers. Oh, the arrow though. Oh, the forced off.
Chopper's really deep in there.
Skating and sliding
Is under attack.
all over
Just-
the place. But once again, like, no dust. If that was dust, it was a kill. They're banking on the supports to do it. You can see like TKC has got 3 obs, he's got dust, like all these things. But Soup also has a dust now, but the cores can really like contribute to this manner. It's really hard for these supports to get in front to get these sentries and dust down, because they'll just get melted by a puck or a gyrocopter.
And I just want to point out again, this Puck, he's the highest net worth in the game. That's right. He outfarmed the gyrocopter. And Remedy, he ain't doing bad. He ain't suffering for the monies. He's doing golden. Look at him farm. Killing those ancients. Beating those dragons
Adeslam
up.
is going Aghanims on this Kunkka next, and I guess it's more teamfight control for them with the Ravage. But I think it's a little bit of overkill. I think they need like raw damage. I think AC would be better. They need something to get through these heroes, because there's just so much heal. Like, this Abaddon is healing everyone. Like, there's a full Greaves on the Pit Lord. You've got the Enchantress with the Glimmer Cape, and then obviously the Nature's Attendant. So it's just so much sustain from the side of XD, and Gyrocopter has a full Satanic now. Okay, but Soup also has his own mechanism. That's interesting. What pipe on the Tidehunter? What is Lifestealer going next? He's going Basher. Okay, so Kunkka didn't build the AC because Lifestealer has.
Gotcha.
Yeah, silly. So AC on the lifestealer amps his damage quite a bit, but he is still killable. If he gets caught by this puck coil, they can kite him effectively.
That's top lane with the lifestealer all alone.
Yeah, he went solo
Okay,
kill
no
him.
friends though.
He went solo kill him.
No, I mean,
But-
I was thinking like someone's gonna TP into the outpost, and I looked over the outpost and just saw like Jumper and Soup. They're like, you know, like no one's seeping in.
Do you think we're gonna see a Pit Lord Ags this game? Because Puck has got boots of travel, and then you can TP onto allies. So you can do
this
some.
game looked dangerous. It could be
Oh,
over! Jumper! He decided it should be over! Good night, Gyro! Who copped away? Byron Biceps ain't TPing out of this one, lad! And they smoke up immediately because they're hunting! Oh man, you just don't see Ravagers like that. It was like you wake up in the morning, you smell the fresh coffee, perhaps a freshly baked whatever. That
Freshly
exactly.
baked things in the morning.
Blah blah. There we go. And all the other nonsense that I come up with, right? The pointers.
Oof, but that was that.
Freshly
Even though that was
baked
that was
loaf of
that
bread,
was insane ravage
That's
by.
how good that is. It's like you wake up in the morning and somebody's made breakfast in bed for you, right? That's how good that feels. You know,
That was
you're
an
lying
insane ravage
back-
by Yappa. It was an insane ravage, HellbirD. But that was a mistake by XD. Why are you grouped like that right in front of the
Dire's middle
the
tower
enemy
is
tier
under
3 when you know Ravage is up? That was a mistake. Gyro needs to be a little bit further back, or Abba needs to be a little bit further back to be able to purge him, so he can actually get his BKB off. But that was a mistake, and there's no buybacks on these heroes. Yeah, they did fortify, and the creep wave is being cut by Junaid. So in
is
4
this
seconds,
how it
back
ends?
doors back up. 2
I mean-
seconds, back doors up. It's not. Why? Dota? I don't understand. There was no creeps, HellbirD, and they creep spawned. Backdoor should have been down.
well,
That
it's down as the racks.
yeah, that is. I don't know what happened there. Good old game we love.
I mean,
Oh, and they're gonna get Roche as well.
what's that old saying? You know, you have
XD
to.
should contest this.
Well,
they have to
being a
contest this.
good old, indie, small indie
There's
company.
no Ravage. No Ravage with 20.
Well, they're gonna go now though. This Roshan is dying fast. The shard, the cheese, all there. They're gonna drop the ulti from the Marana, but at Astum, he's on the front lines. They're gonna catch up B. Backs off.
They're gonna wait for Ravage and then they're gonna re-engage.
Okay, well, you need to take this now. And of course, B is gonna be 5-second arrows because that's actually how the spell works. You cast it anywhere on the map. It's like a global spell that will hit
B needs to get in the pit. He needs to get
Well,
the Curse of Avernus onto this target
this,
because
but-
Tepe's just gonna run in.
Watch the Ravagers up! Jumper! They're all on top of each other! The Blinks there, he's waiting! I'm not sure why he didn't go because they were all on top of each other, but he opted not to. Perhaps waiting for the support to come back in. They're gonna catch out Deppy. Again into the Roche, but they go. Roshan.
Oh, his blink has been cancelled.
They're trying to make this count. They drop down the call down in the Roche pit. They're going to be swarming over it, but the Ravage catches them out as they take the Roshan Aegis onto Deppy. And they're trying to get up, but they're bouncing around and they lose their trip. That's a 1-star rating.
No, he cancelled it.
They actually be able to turn this one around because Remedy and Co, they're standing, they're going to deliver, but they have to deal with the Aegis. They're trying to run down at Astum. Junaid's there, the little rocket's going to connect as well. They do have numbers to finish him off. Oh man!
What is this game?
That's a 5.5-star rating and a tip because them not being able to retreat meant they killed everything.
Deppy still has the Aegis though.
Yeah,
They got
because
out
of a
with life
team.
still having Aegis. Did they get anything from that roast though? Did they pick up a cheese or... I'm not sure. I don't see it on... There's a cheese on Kunkka. Adostam
Okay.
got the cheese.
They're going up the high ground here, and Deppy is standing. He is mostly alone. He is still alone. He is alone. The arrows flying through it will not hit B this time, which is weird. But they just can't deal with this lifesteal at the moment. They
So
bring in the
tanky.
support. TKC is there. They drop the call, and this is just to retreat by time. Deppy onto Ski gets a little bit of help though. On the backline, Junaid taking names. He wants to bring them down, and yes, you have the lifestealer Aegis, but you're gonna have to get out because right now Remedy and Co are standing. They're delivering,
They're
but the
not doing
support does
anything
come in.
to
The buybacks there. The Cocoa Rum. The seas are boiling over, and they're gonna take a couple down here for sure. They managed to get out the gyrocopter. That's what was most important. As B, no waste, no waste, no waste!
Not
He's
able.
down as well! What? God mode? Did somebody leave cheats on the server? What's going on, XD?
So there's a very significant thing that happened here. So this gyrocopter went satanic because he needed the lifesteal, and it's a standard item for the hero as well. But that's allowing this lifestealer just to steal way too much HP off him when he hits him. So the strength gain from the satanic is actually keeping Depi alive. He's just right-clicking away, not caring in the world. He's going for Daedalus next because he already has the Crystallis, but he really needs a butterfly. He needs to force Depi into a MKB because him getting a full Abyssal Blade instead of a MKB could be game losing because then you just can't hit this gyro and you don't lifesteal. So Daedalus for Remedy. Oh no, they found him top. Is he in trouble?
He is in trouble because Depi is literally eating the man. And in comes TKC, in comes Jappa. You're staying here with us, you're a ghost, mate. Junaid, I don't know if this is a play. He needs out in a big way. The Illusion Orb will give him some distance, but Jappa and Co are there. Baron wants help out. Watch that arrow, watch that arrow, watch that Ravage. They get down the Lotus Orb. Does mean Junaid's out of here. This actually might
Baron's
work out for them in the weirdest way. Baron's still being run down though. He's going to toss Depi away for a second, but they should be able to find a big pick off here as well.
Check middle.
Soup and Co destroying them. The Daston's going to push out the mid lane as well. 65 seconds, what the buyback look like? Gyro, 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 do you have a buyback, my friend? You do.
Yeah,
What
he
about
really
the
needs...
Underlord? Nothing on him,
they
he
got
needs
the X.
300 gold. And they find another skull. What is this? XD. They took their foot off the accelerator for just a moment.
Remedy can't buy back here.
Energy found their own.
If Remedy buybacks here, it's going to be really hard for them to win this game. He needs a butterfly. This lifestealer is just eating through him. He needs to get a butterfly so he can actually fight him.
Top tower is under attack.
What were you saying about lifestealer feeling like he doesn't do damage, HellbirD?
Dire's top tower is falling.
Different game, mate. Right now,
Is under attack.
he's a hungry hippo. That lost a lot of weight and became a skeleton with a much longer tail, but he's definitely got the mouth for it.
And
They're going to take the rack to top lane.
terrifying. But hippos are pretty terrifying.
I actually think they're the most dangerous animal in the world. Like, I think
Yeah,
more
they
human beings
kill-
die hippos than any other creature.
Yeah.
You know what? Depi is a hippo. In the
Apart
most
from
complimentary
mosquitoes.
way.
Apart from mosquitoes. But that's obviously because of...
I mean, they're an insect, not an animal, right? Like, some different creature. I mean, it's what it is.
Sorry, Mr. Animal
Listen,
Noah.
no one is scared of a mosquito. You see a mosquito, just whack, gone, right? You see a hippo, I guarantee you're gonna run.
But
And that's
even
exactly
after
what
that
you have to do
wha-
when
oh,
you
wait.
see that
They
thing
showed up.
enraged.
They
Smoking up,
showing
and there's,
Remedy.
this is the age-old Betaru, but in they go. Backline, Junaid doing damage to Soup. Wants to finish off, he's locked down the tight end. The turret doing so much work though, as the waves
They don't
are
have
getting
reveal.
all over. Ski though, he is full, he's fighting fit. The Baron Co.
They cancelled.
Cancel the ulti, they want this fight! XD have picked this fight, but XD are floating because we all float down here, but they haven't quite finished the job. Can they do it? The disarm is there. They bring down the gyro. Is he gonna buy back? Is he gonna fight on B? He has to join Depi at the moment as they toss Baron up in the air. They're trying to go after Junaid. Depi's quick though, but he's not quick enough. They bring down the Lion as well. An unrelated battle.
Whew, I don't know if they should have cancelled that Uber. That was... Oh, but it's so hard because it looks like your team's in trouble and then they turn it and then...
There's the buyback now. Energy immediately respected. They won out. Remedy and Co would love to catch them though. They even bring in
Ski is
Seahound, but the
hunting.
Coca run goes over. They want this fight. Good night, Bambi. Enchantress deleted out of the game, and they get the double Earth Spike. It may as well have been a Ravage because it's on Remedy. It might be enough, might be more than enough. So be it. Sinister 5, I think you have a date. And I think your date might just be with Energy Esports. Because XD are in so much trouble. Junaid low, X'd up, and he's gone. Does he have buyback? No. So you may as well write in the stars, because right now, the only thing that stands between Energy and a grand final is a miracle. Jappa
He's low, but he's not low enough. The hearts come out as Deppy starts applying his mind, and by mind I mean teeth, to B's Abaddon. Tries to run him down, he won't be able to finish the job. Keep your eye on the prize though, you got a grand final get to, Energy. Finally they do start just beating down onto the tier 4s, so they know if there were options they would have been used by now. The Coco Rub comes through and Baron goes! He's tossed up in the end. Well, he is going to survive for a little while longer. Can XD hold? It seems so unlikely at this point. The throne almost exposed. The Ravage comes out. And you know what comes after Ravage? I tell you what comes after Ravage. GG comes after Ravage. Because the seas, the storms, they're all in favor of NG Esports. And for XD, it is good night, it is goodbye, because Energy Esports are, read it, they are your second grand finalist, the second team to make it to the grand finals of EGL One, the first ever EGL One. But all there's left to do is right click, and it'll be more than enough. GG is called. Congratulations, Energy Esports.
What a series though. What a series. This game was so back and forth. Like XD playing out of their minds, bringing it back into their favor, and then Energy making the counter plays. This was crazy. And HellbirD, there's going to be a moment when they got into this, like they're going to look at this game where Yappa caught 5 heroes with a Ravage in front of a tier 3 by Energy's base that they're going to look at and they're going to be pretty sad about.
Honestly, I totally agree. Like,
that was a turning point.
It could have so easily just been, cool, we're going to game 3. Look, ladies and gentlemen, as per EGL One style, we'll go all the way to the third matchup. But honestly, just too many good Ravages. Too many good Ravages. Too many great engagements. And, man,
but there's also so many small things that contributed to that game. Like, Gyro picking up Satanic actually hurt him because it just ensured that Deppy was full HP permanently throughout these fights because he just kept hitting the Gyrocopter. Okay, Gyro, you've got 3,500 HP, you're life stealing, but I'm life stealing as well. And I can't, like, I would have probably done the same thing, but looking at it from our perspective, like, we picked it up, and I can't help but think if that was a Butterfly and a Scotty instead of a Satanic, that he would have been able to kill this lifestealer, because Scotty reduces the healing from the lifestealer as well, and he misses you, and by chances that he does touch you, that he can't heal. So, wow, DP lifestealer, man, 13 for 2.
I mean, a phenomenal series, and of course, it's kind of, I guess, down to the two most. I would say the two sides that have performed best over the year. I mean, XC have had their wins, and I think that it's not the last we're going to see of them. I think that the squad is doing incredibly well at the moment, and I'm sure that we will have another purple final eventually. But this one's going down to orange and green. But of course, well, you heard it from me, but let's at least hear it from the players themselves. We also have some interviews lined up this afternoon. I keep saying this evening. It's not this evening at all. It's this afternoon, but I'm going to open things up with BE from XD. Welcome. I'm sorry that we're seeing you on these terms. It would have been great to have you here, but I mean, let's just be honest for a moment. Sure, it wasn't your match, but XD is looking great at the moment as a squad. I'm sure you would agree.
Well, yeah, for sure. I thought everyone played really well. I think nerves got to us, but energy were just too good today.
I mean, let's just focus on the positive for a moment, because we have to discuss like where things went wrong and how you end up in this situation. But I mean, we've seen some spectacular plays from you guys. I mean, the match you had with UC, for example, you just looked like so slick. It was so slick. There was like it was a polished wall. Everything was so good. What's been happening behind the scenes? How have you reached this point where a side that, let's be honest, we used to be a mid-logger, is now threatening the best teams in the country and threatening to be the best team in the country?
I don't know. I think we get a lot of help. Vidit's helped us find some good coaches, and we're a lot of young players and we're only going to get better. So next year, hopefully, we can do better.
I mean,
looking forward to
only,
it.
yeah,
Like,
only seems sensible at this point. Okay, so notAhero, I'm sure you have some of the clever questions to go around. Would you like to throw some?
Okay, so I have a big question because it was actually one of the highlight plays of the game for me. It was what your team did. That Roche fight you guys went into, where Ravage was still like 20 seconds away for energy side, and you knew they were roaching. You guys kind of ran in there. You specifically with the Abba just ran in to get vision,
Yeah.
and you guys poked and prod with Remedy, but he didn't have BKB for that engagement. His BKB was still 30 seconds away. Did you guys like throw him in there on purpose, knowing that he had buyback, or was it just kind of a YOLO play?
So he didn't really want to fight. The idea was to wait for his BKB. He said 20 seconds, but I didn't feel like we could wait that long.
Because his
And,
buyback
yeah.
changed that fight. So kind of like when you guys went in there, he died on the first life, came in with the second life, and you guys just turned it and got the Roche.
We knew he had buyback, but honestly, the plan wasn't for him to die there. We tried to delay it about 20 seconds.
Okay, no, because I thought it was a big brain play. Like, okay, Remedy going, I've got buyback, let's fight this. But it ended up in your favor in that instance. And then there was a small, not to rub salt in the wounds, but there was a small little misplay step from you guys, bottom lane, tier 3, pushing the tier 3 and getting 5-man ravaged and losing your gyro in the engagement. Was that just a little bit of nerves?
Yeah, honestly, I messed up 2 fights with Ravage. I ultied way too early, but I'd like to blame nerves.
Okay.
I was pretty nervous. I
But
think
you
everyone
guys'
tried
performance was great, and like we love watching your team play. It's always good Dota when you guys play with tempo. Seeing Junaid on puck was also a great thing, and well done to your team for getting to where it's been.
Thanks for the cast in all our games.
Yeah, you're welcome. What a polite young. Also, no, seriously, but I know it sounds weird to congratulate a team when you're on your way out, but I do think your side
You
is doing so
deserve it.
well, and
Yeah.
we do applaud the efforts, and we can all see it. I mean, you lost, but it's 26-27 against a team that might just go on to win this tournament, right? So it wasn't easy by any means. But anyways, hard luck. Congratulations to your squad for doing as well as they have been doing in the past. And yeah, I think I will echo what notAhero said a little bit earlier, which was like, we can't wait to see what happens, as you guys grow and you continue to strive to become the SS #1.
Thanks.
All right. But on that note, I'm just looking over the production. Do we have an interview from Energy Esports? Stares into the caster's text, looks into it, waits for the response.
Stares waitingly.
Okay. And then delays waitingly, as it sounds like we do. So delays waitingly, that's a word now, just like the blah blah, whatever I tried to say about baking bread or bread loaves or whatever that was earlier.
Planting a flag.
Planting a flag. I think we came to a consensus, by the way. I think it is, in fact, planting the flag. Like, you plant it.
Okay, well, XT has definitely planted a flag with their performance through EGL One,
Those slick hair.
showing that they are
Dang, dude, that's not a hero.
they
It was
are
like-
a contender. Like,
Uh,
okay, let's be honest. Like this second game, I think the first game Energy had it hands down, but it was mainly because of the drafting phase. But the second game, I think if there was a few little changes, like itemization wise, then this game would have gone in their favor. Like maybe a little bit less nerves, as B said, but they're still a young group, HellbirD. Like we keep forgetting this because this XT squad feels so established. They are a young group, and like you said, they're getting coaching from the right sources. The vet is helping them loads and loads, and from where they were in 2019 to where they are now, 2 completely different teams. Yes, it's been 3 years, but how many other teams has improved going from a 6th place team in the country to possibly top 1, top 2, top 3?
Honestly, it's pretty amazing, but I almost want to go a step further. Is that EGL has been like the proving ground, but also the improving ground. Because when you think about how sides have come to this tournament, that, I mean, we spoke about a lot during the early stages of this event, where we spoke about the fact that teams were entering skill cap tournaments because they felt that they couldn't contest against it. And then in this tournament, we started seeing teams beat those teams that were excluded from those skill cap tournaments. I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? And it's pretty amazing to show what this kind of event can have. And additionally, again, we have to give a little bit of credit to the wildcard format that they use, because One of those teams did exceptionally well as well. I mean, all of them actually seem to have good showings at this event, but obviously in particular we saw teams actually doing, going far beyond where we're expecting them to go.
Yeah.
And also I think we saw the rise of Duck. I mean, it's been a great tournament.
Yeah. So, and unfortunately tomorrow it's coming to an end, but what a way to just put the little cherry on top. Sun 5 versus Energy.
And the thing is, you can't make this stuff up, right? Because
yeah.
honestly, if you were to, this is one of the reasons I think Dota is the most magical game in the world, right? Firstly, because you destroy your opponent's racks, and that somehow improves your own creeps, and also, because you have these moments, and more seriously, you have these moments like this where you look at a tournament and what changes over the course of it, the way that the heroes change and the teams change and the performances change. It really is something special, and Dota is a beautiful game. And I think we have a community that is also beautiful here in South Africa.
Yeah, and the community is getting, I'm not going to say getting better, I think that's the wrong way to phrase it, but it's getting more intertwined. Like, everyone's starting to like kind of pull together to jump into these tournaments and to play together. This year is the first year that I've seen not guys just stacking with their same 5 teammates. Like, teams from different teams are intertwining and everyone's playing together, and more teams are coming into the scene. Like, we spoke to some of the guys from Haze Gaming, and they unfortunately reforming, I think, but all the players that we spoke to from them they've gotten a taste of competitive Dota now, and all of them were like, we want to get into new teams, like we want to be picked up, like we want to form new groups. I spoke to Slevin from GHC, which we saw earlier in the tournament, and his guys are breaking up as well, but for work reasons, but he's still looking to play competitive Dota because he says like EGL gave him this experience to like what competitive Dota and SA actually should be like, or like was like many years ago, and that passion for the game is still there, and it's great to see from these guys, especially the young guys.
I'm glad you made that comment, because this is the thing to me. I've been doing this for a long time now, and when I started out, I used to kind of reference concepts from Dota 1, and then I started moving on to referencing comments from Dota 2. And at some point, you start to see like the rise of like a new flock, if you will. You look at there's all these new community casters, for example, that also participated in this tournament. And some of those guys, they will go, as it is with this industry, and some of them will stay. Some of them will achieve and become well-known names in the casting space, for example. And I know this sounds like oddly specific, right? So just bear with me for a second. But I love casting. That's why I'm here, right? And I often think about what it'll be like for the people that come next. We're not going to cast forever. notAhero, you still got a long time left. Now, I intend to still have a long time left, but there will come a time where we have to put down our like and sit back and watch, because it won't be our time anymore. And these moments that we're enjoying right now, these games, those ravages, they will become the content that the new generation of shoutcasters use to reflect upon. So these players are literally making history as we speak, because who knows, maybe it's scrolls up arbitrarily and sees Emmy spamming a lot, so maybe it's maybe Emmy's the next caster, maybe it's this Recall ZA chap that I see is also here. Couldn't help myself. Anyways, but the point is, who knows who it'll be, right? Who's reflecting on these moments, but the players are the ones that are going to be making those moments today, and they will be the ones who we reflect upon. So it's an awesome time. Anyways, with that said, with that out the way, we can actually bring in one of those players now. So let's bring in Soup and hear what the young man has to say. Soup, I know what you're going to say. I know what terrible lies you're going to make up about me. So you're not going to go there. Don't do it.
What?
I know the things that anyways. I want to make a point. Actually, the first time I saw you play, of course, was for, I believe it was Goliath Gaming.
First of all, Soup, congratulations on the win. Well done, man.
No, don't start with that. We have to lead into that. Hold on, we're going somewhere with this, right? So back then, there was a lot of attention that was given to you about the concept of being like this up and coming player. There was a lot of pressure. In fact, I remember in a
Yeah.
broadcast not too long ago, I made the point that like it's time for Soup to start achieving, and it's almost like overnight. Then I just saw Soup starting to achieve, and now you find yourself in an EGL One Grand Finals, the first ever EGL One. It's almost the start of your own personal, I'd say, like. It's your own legend, right? Like, there will become a time where people will talk about Soup in past tense. And by the way, it makes sense if you watch the replay why I'm saying this. But how does it feel to be at stage 1 now, where you can now say, look, I've had this history of playing for other sides, but now I'm playing for a side that is like my own, and I'm in a grand final in a first ever event, as in like EGL One being in its first incarnation.
It feels really nice because obviously when I was in Goliath, I was just a sub. So now I'm kind of in a proper team that's really good. It's nice that we're in the finals, even if we had to get Chet through the lower brackets. You know, things happen.
Building-
happen.
Building the momentum.
Yeah,
that's
just
what we're
more
calling
practice, you know?
Yeah, building the momentum. Soup, first, I've got 2 questions for you. First of all, congratulations on the win and congratulations to making it to the grand final. So, first of all, my first question is regarding the game specifically. You guys played a lot around your Ravage timings and like you did it effectively, but that Roche fights were absolutely insane. Buybacks from Remedy coming back into the fights, you guys trying to get the Ravages off. Like, what was going through yourself and your team's like comms at that stage of the game? Like, were you just waiting for your Ravages, trying to defend? What's going on?
100%. It was a lot of like noise. To be honest, when Adam like died mid, alone, I could tell people like a bit like upset because you know you can't really get caught at a time like that. So then Adam ended up having to buy back, and the fight looked good, but then they obviously like outbought back us and ended up getting the Aegis, the first Aegis, I mean.
Yeah, and then the turning point in that game was that bottom Ravage by Yappa, where you guys, they were just nice grouped up pushing your tier 3, and he got a full 5.
Yeah, that was Yappa God.
Yeah,
they just set it up for him.
Into a nice little arrow there, and you guys ended up wiping that fight. And then the second question I have for you is just about like your story, like
Sure.
Goliath Gaming standing in for them. The championship was 2019, and then from there forming the squad with the guys from Punks, where you were playing mid, like as that was kind of what your role was known. How have you now moved to a team like Energy into a POS 4 role, and how have you adapted to that role?
I mean, to be honest, like before I joined Goliath, I was this year main position 4 player.
Okay, so it's back to basics for you. And
yeah, this is just like what I've always wanted to play, basically. The only reason I played mid, because that's basically what Goliath needed. So I kind of adapted then.
Just looking forward to seeing some more Enchantresses and some more. Well done.
Oh no, not from Sin 5, dude. Slinks, Enchantress, very scary stuff.
Pick the Morana, arrow him. It's fun.
That's the plan, dude.
You hear that, Sin 5? He's gonna pick Morana.
You know, that's the thing. I think we have to have like a little. We've got to bait something out of you, and let's go there for a second. I mean, obviously, you had a very interesting series against Sinister 5, and now you get an opportunity for a rematch, right? Is any thoughts, any well wishes you want to send their way before that match tomorrow?
I think they're just gonna get what's coming to them, to be honest, because they should not have been winning that series, but it happened. So. Guess we'll have to see what happens in the finals. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I like that.
Oof,
putting his money where his mouth is. So
just saying.
okay.
Yeah.
The cat is most definitely amongst the pigeons at this point. We're not going to top that. We're going to call it there. Congratulations. Cool. We definitely look forward to seeing more of you. And particularly for tomorrow, we look forward to seeing what is going to be a very historic and amazing matchup.
Thank you.
Congratulations again. Let's wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was the penultimate EGL One Season 1 broadcast. It's been great, it's been fantastic, and it's only going to get better. Tomorrow, I believe 2 p.m., we will be watching the 2 best teams in the country. Undisputed at this point, but in a position to finally put to rest who is the best team in the country. Of course, make sure to miss it. Make sure you subscribe, stay part of the channel.
One last thing, HellbirD. We have 2 giveaways tomorrow, not 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's double the free stuff. I mean,
double the free
stuff. Can't beat the Dota that we're going to put on display, but I mean, that certainly doesn't suck either. Anyway,
so guys, like and sub. catch us tomorrow.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Once again, super congratulations, and we'll see you all tomorrow for the, just wait for it, the grand final of EGL One Season 1. The first ever, it'll be the only time you get to see 1 and 1 next to each other, I guess, in this format. So make sure to miss it. But for now, cheers and goodbye.